draft with Adam Novotny, and this young man right here, Brooks Rogowski, also his NHL draft year, already missed time this season in November and December. This absolutely stinks for Brooks Rogowski. It's tough to see him back on the shelf in such a big year for him, with so many scouts in the building each and every night to see him play.
Certainly with the Generals trading off some big pieces both earlier in the season, Ben Danford and Zach Sandu, and trading off more at the trade deadline. It's been a season about developing their young stars. They might have had some trouble in doing that with Sam Roberts so far.
Yeah, Sam Roberts in a bit of a funk here for the Oshawa Generals. He came out red hot, did the first round pick for the Generals last season, or last draft, 16th overall in 2025. Had 4 goals in his first 6 games in the OHL, but has gone 32 without. His last goal, October 4th. But in these struggles, he certainly has someone in the locker room to lean on. Owen Griffin, the Oshawa Generals first round pick in 2023, went 58 games in his rookie season before scoring his first career Ontario Hockey League goal. And look at a player like Owen Griffin now, one of the top offensive threats in the Ontario Hockey League. Certainly refreshing for a player like Sam Roberts to have a leader like that in the locker room to lean on.
The Petes find themselves in 4th place in the Eastern Conference right now. Solidifying home ice would be key. They need to stay ahead of the Niagara Ice Dogs.
Yeah, the 6-point stretch for the Peterborough Petes in that regard. Looking like they're locked firmly into 4th, but things can change quickly. We still do have a long stretch of games here down the stretch, but home ice advantage would be a big key for the Peterborough Petes in any first-round potential 4-5 match.
True, too, when you look at their record, much better on home ice than they have been away. 9 wins on the road so far this season, and 22, I believe, at home. And so with that, in the small confines, the square corners, as I love to say, of the PMC, big for the Peterborough Petes to get home ice advantage in that first round.
Absolutely, and as we know nowadays, it seems like all these arenas have become more cookie-cutter. We are not still in the days of the old Chicago Stadium or the Boston Gardens or arena that have their own character or flair. Well, the PMC certainly remains standing alone in that category, so home ice advantage could be a key for the Petes.
We will meet the goaltenders in a moment. We'll send it down to ice level for the national anthem.
Carson Cameron of the Peterborough Petes and Owen Griffin of your Generals to center ice for our ceremonial puck drop.
Clean. That was clean.
Nice. I like it, buddy.
Big round of applause. Richard, Ola, Aria, Austin, and Kobe from Helenda's Meats for joining us at tonight's game. Ontario Power Generation is the proud sponsor of the Oshawa Generals anthem. We ask you please rise if you're able, remove your helmets and toques, and join in the singing of the Canadian National Anthem as we're led by Kedron Public School.
Starting goaltenders brought to you by Knights of Columbus TV Bingo, and for the Peterborough Petes, Mason Johnston will get the start in net tonight.
Peterborough through and through, from the town, and played his minor hockey there. In fact, was an OMHA U16 AAA champion as a member of the Peterborough Petes. Jen's assistant coach, Mike Ferrugia, was the head coach on that team. Mason Johnston gets the start here tonight, his first since January 30th.
And I look at the new gear for Matthew Humphreys, ready to go. He debuted it on Wednesday in Ottawa. He wears it at home tonight.
Yeah, starting to break in that gear. Didn't go so well for the Oshawa Generals in Ottawa, in the nation's capital 2 days ago. 6-0 the defeat to the 67s. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, these Peterborough Petes defeated the Ottawa 67s 7-3 last night.
Set for puck drop in Oshawa. The Gens and Petes, the rivalry continues. Peterborough has dominated the season series 4-1 so far. This game 6 of 8. They will do another one in Peterborough before the season is over. And the final game of the regular season for the Generals will be here against the Peterborough Petes on March 22nd.
There is nothing like Gens Petes on a Friday night. Let's get this party started.
Underway, and the Petes after it right away. Ronnie Calto jumps onto a top line with Luke Posthumus and Owen Griffin. And the Petes, Adam Novotny's after it in the Oshawa zone. Sends it down low. Yannick Lutz, the Swiss import, looking for it and gets a tip on it through the neutral zone. Posthumus will send it in. Johnston out to play it. Quickly onto him is Griffin, the Columbus Blue Jackets prospect. And the Petes will get it out to center. The big Colin Feely handles it at his own blue line and chips it off the glass and ahead. Too far for Griffin. He'll peel off towards the bench as the Petes start out. Moore got a stick on that pass for Lutz, and he takes a hard hit from Aidan O'Donnell as Lutz dumped that in. Matthew Wang, who's looked pretty good since returning from injury. He missed 10 games since coming over from the Flint Firebirds.
And he's a player that can move up and down the lineup. We've seen Mario Pouliot use him all over a top 9 role, first, second, third line. He's had a taste of it all. He's had some good games for the Oshawa Generals.
Wang will make his way to center, dump it in, chasing after it. Harrison Franson poked away from him by the goaltender Johnston. A good move to slash the stick out there at the last second. Franson's on it quickly in the corner. Bodied there by Garrett Fraser. It comes to the near side for O'Donnell. Looks back to the point to Moore. Across the blue line, Vlasic. He'll take a shot towards net. Goes off a skate. Corralled by Franson. Long shot, scores! Harrison Franson opens the scoring on the first shot of the game for Oshawa.
And opening the scoring is something that Harrison Franson has done an awful lot. His 19th goal of the season, 7 of those have been the first goal of an OHL contest this season. That's good for second most in the Ontario Hockey League. The Gens strike early, less than 2 minutes in, they're up 1-0.
Perfect shot, spinning and firing. Big crowd in front for Johnston. Not much he could do there. Puck found the top corner quickly and exactly the start the Generals needed after being shut out Wednesday in Ottawa. Puck sent ahead past Roberts. Hammond will play it back and the Petes send it ahead. It's tipped at center and so no icing as Timmerman takes a bump from a forechecking Hammond. Partridge had fallen, took a high hit. An incidental contact in the neutral zone. Looks to be okay. He remains on. Cameron steps up on Roberts quickly. Following up is Faulkner. Timmerman takes a bump. And Bird Leitner will get it out. The hitting ramping up early in this one.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Gens Petes on a Friday night. Not necessarily the Pims we used to see back in the 80s and 90s, but the physicality and the, let's be honest, hate is always there.
Thatcher plays it around his own zone. The Gens get to it first. It's the fourth line out. Charlie Hilton bodies and a long shot from the point by Moore is kicked aside by Johnston. Murnane will keep it in the Peterborough zone only momentarily. Now flipped out to center and Murnane will chase it back down in his own zone. Petes, of course, on a back-to-back after a big win against the Ottawa 67s last night. Not a long travel down the 115, but it's back-to-backs nevertheless. This puck just squeaks out of the Oshawa zone. Trying to get to it was Rowan Sang. Hilton missed it with a kick. Novotny will carry it ahead, trying to get around Murnane into the corner, and Novotny will come away with it. Spins it down behind the net. Hooked out front, and Lutz couldn't get there. Murnane did. Sang will get it ahead and just out into the neutral zone. where Strohak will send it right back in to Novotny. Now Novotny from a sharp angle, having that covered, and the wraparound try. Humphreys got the pad across to keep the skate on that and keep it out.
Well, a clean start for the Oshawa Generals, scoring less than 2 minutes into this game, and there's a pushback from the Peterborough Petes, and a nice wrap by Adam Novotny. Had great opportunity here. Here the sharp angle shot rings off the outside of the iron and gets his feet moving right away, activates quick push, and across comes Matthew Humphreys to slam that skate blade against the post. Novotny had the wrap if it was there, but Humphreys had slammed the door shut.
Novotny, the 8th overall pick in the import draft in 2024 from Czechia. And you made a great point anytime, Shane. It's not who you draft, it's who you can get to come to Canada and play.
Well, and it's also a testament to the Peterborough Petes organization that a player like Adam Novotny chooses to come to the OHL. He chooses to join the Peterborough Petes in what is the most important season of his young hockey career. His NHL draft year, a player that's been projected first-round talent and is really creeping into that potential top 10 pick. Still is ranked a little bit outside of that, but hey, it only takes one group of scouts or general manager to fall in love with a player. This could be a top 10 pick.
Griffin will bank it back to the point. Feely goes across the blue line for Vlasic. He'll send it in wide. He was looking for the carom into the slot. Kalto's got it, though, in the corner. Wrapped up by Perreault. Feely will pinch on the near side. And Perreault has got it behind his net, sends it out ahead for Kolarek. Lutz following up across the Oshawa line. Drops it back for Kolarek. He looks across, then Lutz got nailed as he passed that. Good chance in front. A couple of opportunities spinning and firing for Carson Cameron before he's buried by a hit from Colin Feely, and the Gens back the other way in the midst of a line change. Puck eluded Franson at center. Stepping up is Moore. Steals it from Walton, and Moore will carry it in himself. Looks at his options. Takes a shot from a sharp angle. Kicked aside by Johnston. Back at the point, waiting for it. Lashon will play it around the Peterborough zone. Matthew Wang onto it there. Trying to skate his way to it in the corner. Pokes it free. And then stolen from him by Hartnell, and he'll flip it high out to center down the ice. It's rolling end over end, and this one will go for icing. The Petes wanted to change, and it won't be allowed.
Yeah, linesman jets straight over to the bench, specifically the D door of the Peterborough Petes, to say, nuh-uh, send his man back. Braden Strohak has to head back to the bench, and a couple of tired defenders have to stay out for the Peterborough Petes. Callum Hartnell and Holden Carter out after the icing.
O'Donnell about to take the face-off, being recognized in the building, playing in his 100th OHL game. He's about to say how good he's been in the face-off dot, and he loses the draw. Here's Walton trying to get around LaShawn. Walton just couldn't get a stick on it at the last second. Well played by Leo Lashon, but then he ices the puck, and they'll have to re-rack it back in the Oshawa zone.
Aidan O'Donnell, the key piece coming back in the Ben Danford trade to the Brantford Bulldogs earlier this season. And promising young talent. Oshawa Generals add to their fold from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. His father played in the Ontario Hockey League for the Oshawa Generals in Ottawa '67, so via the bloodline, the lineage, eligible for the Ontario Hockey League draft, and was selected by Brantford 14th overall in 2024.
Not a bad little hockey town, that Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
There's a couple making some magic in Italy right now.
Look at Aidan O'Donnell. If he's ever had the invite to those summer skates that are oh so infamous. Brad Marchand joining those as well, although he didn't play for Team Canada today.
Back to back. I'm sure he'll be in there tomorrow, or pardon me, Sunday.
Griffin leaning in for the face-off. He'll have to do it against big Kieran Walton as Young is ushered out of the dot. Walton wins it cleanly. So clean it got by Strohak at the point. And here is Walton. He's got a step. We're trying to recover. Walton spins and fires. Humphreys will gobble that up. Hang on.
Well, face-off dot will be an interesting battle tonight. The Peterborough Petes absolutely fantastic in the dot, 55.7%. The Gens at 48.3 on the season. But for the Petes, a couple of their big face-off guys not in the lineup by way of suspension. Braden McCallum, 62.3%, is good for second best in the Ontario Hockey League this season. He's in the midst of an 8-game suspension, as is Adam Levac. He's third on the team with an impressive 54.9%. Hammond will be the top face-off guy percentage-wise for the Petes in this matchup here tonight at 59.8. Lots of options for the Peterborough Petes, usually in the dot, but two of their top three percentage-wise not in the lineup for an extended period of time.
Well, Partridge kicked out of the dot. Hammond comes in and wins it. Faulkner from behind the net comes out front and swing and a miss by Partridge. He just sent it wide. Perreault is dumping around the Oshawa zone. Faulkner in deep on it. Hammond centered it. Strohack will jump in from the point, just poke it in behind the Oshawa goal line. Now a chance short side. It comes loose and diving across. Second chance and a great save there by Humphreys as he sprawled back in order to take that away. Here's Figliomeni the other way. Long shot. Rebound came out. Timmerman was in on the rush. And a shot from the boards by Bird Leitner was blocked. Close call. Petes with a couple of chances right outside the Oshawa crease, and Matthew Humphreys able to fight that off and remain perfect so far. It's a 1-0 Oshawa lead. Spinning and firing Harrison Franson as he had the Gens the lead on Rogers TV.
The groundhogs can't agree on when spring will arrive, so don't gamble your comfort on a rodent's prediction. If your furnace is aging, it may be time to consider a replacement. TauntonTrades.ca.
Downtown Whitby is more than just a downtown. It's a vibrant blend of historic charm and modern life. With over 300 businesses and services, you'll find everything you need. Shop, dine, and discover why downtown Whitby truly has it all.
Harrison Franson leading away for the Oshawa Generals, has them on the board early.
Yeah, 19th goal of the season for Harrison Franson. A great offensive output this year for one of the leaders on this Generals team.
Committed to play at UMass Lowell next season. Or perhaps after his OA year, continue on his career.
Yeah, should be a candidate to come back next year as an OA for sure, but nice to have that commitment as well.
Lucas Moore will range back into his own zone. Start it from there off the skate of Hilton. Goes rink wide to Bernane. You see some daylight ahead. Will carry it just shy of center. Dumps it in and it won't go for icing. So good draw weight. Here's Roberts. Makes a move into the corner. Trying to spin it from there. The Petes will come up with it. Flipped out high by Walton to center. And Moore at his own line. Pressured by Walton. Will just send it into the neutral zone. Harris took a hit from both Sang and Roberts as the Petes are changing. And Moore will go back with it. Here's Owen Griffin. Speeding his way into the Petes zone. Tripped up. Calto continues on into the corner. Trying to feed that back to Griffin. Posthumus leads the team in shots on goal with 150 coming into action.
Not even close to Kieran Walton's 282 on the Peterborough Petes to lead the way. In fact, leads the OHL by 70 over the second most.
Loves to shoot the puck, which is not usually a bad idea.
Well, that's how you score goals. And hey, Kieran Walton, 34 on the season. Everything checks out.
71 points. Puck along the boards in the Peterborough zone. Calto fell. Far side looking ahead. Holden Carter will send it down the ice. It'll be an icing call against the Petes, who again were about to change their D but won't be allowed.
Brady Blasek scoring his first career Ontario Hockey League goal Sunday against the Sudbury Wolves, part of this very young D-core for the Oshawa Generals. Lucas Moore, the veteran on the back end, coming over in the Van Danford trade as The Gens needed to have some sort of veteran presence, but other than that, a lot of youngsters. Artem Frolov, also acquired this season, has some OHL games under his belt, but he is not in the lineup here tonight for the Gens. They continue to roll a very young and very inexperienced OHL-wise back end.
Last Sean will barely keep that in. Now the Petes have a chance to get it ahead quickly. Cleric finds Novotny. Trailer was Hartnell. He wants it, gets it, fires, scores! Hartnell calling for it. And a goal scorer's goal. For his first in the Ontario Hockey League for Callum Hartnell. Ties the game at 1.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a first OHL goal. That looks like he's done this time and time again. Reads the play, reads the open ice, jumps into the rush and calls for the pass. So here he starts the breakout as well, and a nice one-touch there through the neutral zone by Kolarek. The peel by Novotny finds Hartnell curling or coming into the top of the circle. And the quick release and a perfectly placed shot for his first career Ontario Hockey League goal is a beauty, and this game is tied.
Just mentioning Brady Blasic's first as an Oshawa General, very similar. He found it in the slot, buried. Well, Hartnell looks like he's done that a number of times. And for the Petes, they hope he does it a number more.
Absolutely, the Nepean native on the board.
And so on their 7th shot of the game, the Petes tie it. And a goal apiece. Carson Cameron brings this in. His shot, though, is blocked. Gens will turn quickly back the other way. Griffin lays it ahead. Calto. Caught from behind, though, by Walton. Good defensive play. Vlasic couldn't keep it into the blue line, and so more force back. We'll send it ahead to Posthumus. He sends it across the zone off the bench. But in Smirnoff, his shot is blocked. Vlasic will pinch. Here's the call from Timmerman, who fires. And good late reaction by Johnston. He got a piece of that at the last second. And then Timmerman keeps the puck in his own. Vlasic will send it around. Figliameni. It's back to the point. Timmerman, long shot. Johnston steers that aside, and good rebound control, directs it out of play for a whistle.
Yeah, a couple saves there from Johnston. Impressive as he gave up the first goal of this game on the first shot that he faced, but is clearly settled in here. Should be a couple more shots on goal going up for the Oshawa Generals, and that reflex save through traffic, getting the arm or the shoulder up at the very last second to make that save was nice. And like you said, Mike, rebound control is key as well. A soft shot from the point, but gets his stick on it up and over the glass for a face-off.
Partridge, the former Quinty Red Devil. Face-off dot for Peterborough. Tie that one up against Smirnoff, and the Petes will dump the puck out to center. Timmerman back in off Bird Leitner. Fraser forced back. Figliameni, always prone to finish his check, does that in behind the Petes net. Now a steal by Bird Leitner. Smirnoff in there, couldn't find it. Perreault did. Now Faulkner will lead it out across the Oshawa line. Looked like it was offside. Hammond just a stride ahead as the move was made at the blue line.
Just a little bit too much lateral movement at the blue line, puts his teammate half a step offside. And talked about Anthony Figliameni and his ability to get in on the forecheck and stir things up. Looks like he may have dinged himself up there on that forecheck, grabbing his right hip as he missed his target, crashed into the wall, and is very slow in sitting down on that bench and seems to be in some pain.
That would be Ginger for sure. As the Petes control, and Perreault, Petes' second round pick. The Toronto Titans, his past OHL priority selection, will send that puck in and now chased back down, but it's an icing call against the Gens.
Yeah, Matthew Perreault's on a roll as well. 7 assists on a 4-game point streak. Red hot as of late as the Peterborough Petes doing it at many levels. Their youngsters are contributing, obviously some veteran presence and big pieces brought in. Kieran Walton, of course, being the biggest of those, who has been nothing short of fantastic, and everything as promised, the prized acquisition from the Sudbury Wolves.
Well, you mentioned 2 under suspension. Levac and McCallum, serving 8-game suspensions, will be available closer to the end of the month. Krofsky injured, and Karmiris they were hoping to have back now for the playoffs. And a veteran presence is alone in front is Hilton banging away a loose puck. It's still loose. Another chance. Moore scores. Things get a little messy in the Petes crease, and a loose puck eventually finds the stick of Lucas Moore, who puts the Generals back on top with exactly 9 minutes to play in this first period.
Yeah, this was chaotic, and it looked like the puck surely had to be underneath somebody. I mean, look at all the bodies, everybody collapsing, and then I think it was Strohack who was scared about putting his hand down on the puck in the crease, so gives it a little bit of a swat. This will be a nice look here. Strohack goes down, the puck's there, and there he does. He scoops it away, doesn't want it in the blue paint. Eventually it pinballs around, and Lucas Moore activating from the point, getting down inside the hash marks as a defenseman. Finds a loose puck and chips it up and over Johnston, who is prone on the ice. The Oshawa Generals bounce back in front 2-1, though there is a little bit of a pause here at the Peterborough bench, seeing if they want to challenge everything.
Andrew Berger is on the horn with the eye in the sky as the Petes decide whether or not they want to challenge maybe a goaltender interference. But the Generals would have followed the puck into the crease. So it looks like they are going to challenge here, and that was a pivotal call at this point because we put the Gens on the power play.
We'll get another look at it, and let's see when the engagement first happens at the blue paint, if there's any goaltender interference here.
You're allowed to follow the puck into the crease. Here's the replay, and so Hilton is the one who ends up in the crease. Does he make a move to get out? He gets out before the goal goes in, but was the contact enough to make it impossible for Johnston to play this puck?
And with Johnston was already down and scrambling, so does Hilton really do anything to impede him from getting back up? Would also be a question. Let's re-rack this, guys, when we can, to when Johnston first goes down as well. Let's see how he first hits the deck and if there's any general involvement. All right, so here we go. So he's down, kick save, nothing to do with the Gens here. Now, does Hilton stop him from getting up at all? I'm not seeing it.
He's making a move to exit the crease, but we're so getting used to in this past week the international standard for goaltender interference at the Olympics that your guess is as good as ours.
Well, we don't have the best track record, international or not, here, Mike. So Pete's fans should actually be happy if I'm thinking this is a good goal. I just see Johnston being already down in the initial save, and Hilton follows the puck in, and I don't see any way that he's impeding Johnston from getting back up or making another move.
The problem is if you overturn this, then really any scramble that happens in the crease where the goaltender is down becomes an option for goaltender interference. Did Hilton go in on his own? Well, you're allowed to go in if you're following the puck in. Did he impede the goaltender from getting up and making a play on this shot? That is the question. The referees, Blake Buer and Tyson Stewart, are the ones who are apparently coming up with an answer for it.
Headset's coming off. Here we go.
And it's goal. And so because of that, the Petes get an unsuccessful challenge.
So Lucas Moore finds the back of the net. After review, it stands his 9th goal of the season.
And the Petes will be charged with a bench minor. Delay the game in the unsuccessful review, and the Oshawa Generals will get a 2-1 lead and a chance to head to the power play.
First power play of the game. The Oshawa Generals 0 for 10 on the man advantage in their last 3 games. A couple of key lack of conversions on Wednesday against the Ottawa 67s, including a shorthanded goal early in that game. Really got things started on the wrong foot. Gens need some production on the power play.
Well, they tried a face-off play right off the draw. Here comes a chance quickly, and a shot by Timmerman just goes wide. Franson will drop it back to Posthumus. He'll quarterback the power play. Posthumus finds Timmerman. Down to Griffin. Griffin, the shot. He had eyes on the short side corner. Able to get the arm up as Johnston.
Get a look at Anthony Timmerman early in that man advantage, and his nose for the net finds some open ice and jumps up. Getting a look on the top power play unit is Timmerman as well. Development season for the Oshawa Generals, and the once 15-year-old to start the season, now 16-year-old in Timmerman, an 09, getting a good look here on the first unit.
Well, the Gens have gone 5 forwards without Rogowski, though. Timmerman steps in as the only D-man. Slings it across for Posthumous. Posthumous back for Timmerman. Timmerman finds Griffin. Walks into a shooting position. Tried that short side high again and missed. In the corner is Franson. O'Donnell sweeps in to kick the puck free, gives it to Griffin. He looks back to Timmerman at the point, cross the blue line for Posthumous. He'll walk it down low, then back up for Timmerman. Griffin's in a position, wants the one-timer, instead pulled it back for the slap pass to O'Donnell, and it didn't quite make it to him. Petes will change up their penalty killers as Griffin brings it right back in, drops for Posthumous. Waits, and now will take the opportunity to set it up. Timmerman, down low, Griffin, back out front, chance for O'Donnell, rebound, scores! Sixth power play goal of the season for Owen Griffin. The Generals have a 3-1 lead and make the Petes pay for that video review.
That's the gamble when you challenge for goaltender interference and come up short off to the power play. The Generals go, so the goal stands to make it 2-1. Now they convert on the man advantage as well to make it 3-1. And Owen Griffin, his team leading, 22nd goal of the season. Puck's worked across the top. The one-touch attempt to O'Donnell is stopped, but the rebound for Griffin is not. Gens out in front, 3-1.
Interesting, I think the Gens might have, or the Petes might have had a better argument for goaltender interference on that goal with O'Donnell coming into the crease. I'm not sure he knocked down the goaltender necessarily, but he went through just as that puck slid to Owen Griffin. So a power play goal on a power play that has really struggled to score as of late for the Oshawa Generals, dropping down to 19th in the OHL in its effectiveness. It's a big goal early in this one. O'Donnell carries this ahead into the Pete's zone. Pressured from behind by Lutz. Here's Matthew Wang. Sends it across, one-timer, firing that one wide was Franson. Vlasic forced back for it. Watched by Novotny. Colin Feely chases a puck down in his own zone, flips it high, Posthumous to chase after it. He'll win the race to it first. Protects in the corner, waiting for help, but it's cleared before Griffin could get there. He steals it though from Kolarek. Here's Matthew Soto. Pass intended for Kolarek, missed, and Calto will send it in. Hartnell, the Pete's goal scorer, will send it around the zone, doesn't make it out. A high tip, another chance, Posthumous slashed at it. And Johnston got across in time. Here's Luke Posthumous. Shoved down. That would be a glove pass, though, and a great call by the referee to see that. It's easily spotted from our perch. But the Stripes were right on top of it, hand past the call.
Yeah, not nearly as easy down on the ice, especially with that clump of players and bodies bouncing all around. Gens fans expressing their displeasure, wanting a penalty on the play with Posthumous knocked over, but no call. The right call on that one. Faceoff comes outside the blue line. Big save by Mason Johnston, by the way, on that last flurry. A hot bounce off the end wall, quickly hammered towards goal by the Generals. Peterborough already giving up 3 in the first 15 minutes. Can't afford more, and Johnston made a nice save there.
So we'll tip that puck in, and he's trying to go to work in the offensive zone. Zayden Young battling against Lashon. Soto will come up with it. Couldn't center it. Puck comes out to center. Cameron hit O'Donnell with his dump in, and those two push and shove. As the play continues on, and shot in on the far side by Perreault. And now a chance for Franson on a break. Franson, room to the net. Fox scores! Fast break for Harrison Franson. Saw some room on the blocker side, and it is 4-1 Oshawa.
And this is a situation where Carson Cameron's emotions maybe got the best of them, was involved with Aidan O'Donnell. They had a little bit of a dust up, and here he does a pinch up to try to get a piece of O'Donnell. It's a bad pinch, no chance at the puck. O'Donnell didn't even have it at that time, and off to the races goes Harrison Franzen, his second goal of this first period of play. And the Oshawa Generals, lowest scoring team in the league, averaging 2.46 goals a game. They have 4 in the first 15 minutes of this first period.
This is an icing call against the Petes. It'll take us to the TV timeout. The Oshawa Generals pour it on. Franzen with a pair. Griffin in there as well. And Harrison Franzen celebrates a 4-1 Oshawa lead.
Whether you're into NLL lacrosse, OHL hockey, college or university sports, or even youth sports, we've got it covered here on the Sports Report on Rogers TV Durham.
Harrison Franzen's having a night. He's not even 15 minutes into this game.
His third multi-goal game of the season, and yeah, he's got 45 minutes to go in this one to try to notch another dream start for the Oshawa Generals. Out in a big way, 4-1 in the first 15 minutes of this game. Home ice on rivalry night against the Peterborough Petes.
Of course, the Friday Night Faceoff. Welcome all those watching across the OHL, YouTube, TSN Plus as well.
All the eyeballs. Why not for Gens Petes?
Faceoff will be just outside the Petes blue line. Hilton will come on and win the draw cleanly. Vlasic will send it in just wide of the Petes net. Strohack in his own corner, flips it up and down the ice. This rolling end over end will be an icing call again against the Petes. And so they'll rack things back up in the Peterborough zone. Shots are 12-8 in favor of the Gens. The Petes, who did play last night in a big emotional win against the Ottawa 67s, first place team in the Eastern Conference. Got to find their stride here late in this first period.
Yeah, all due respect to Mason Johnson, I can't be the only one who glanced to the Peterborough bench at the 4-1 marker. Easton Rye backing up tonight, played less than 24 hours ago against the Ottawa 67, stopped 31 of 34 shots in that 7-3 win.
Sent around the zone, Timmerman will pinch to keep it down low. Fraser will send it around, and this is another icing call coming against the Petes, 3 in a row.
Well, credit the pressure of the Oshawa Generals for these icings. Their feet are moving, they're getting hard in on the forecheck aggressively, and the Peterborough Petes are just trying to get that puck out of harm's way. It's led to a couple of icing calls, and it's been a result of the Generals' tenaciousness on the forecheck and the pressure they've been applying to the back end of the Peterborough Petes.
Griffin with the face-off win. Oshawa turns at the blue line, looks down, to pass within the skates of Vlasic. The Petes control in their own corner, and the Generals will come up with it. Griffin centers, Calto back for Vlasic, across for Moore. Moore winds, fires. That didn't miss by much. Griffin has it. It hooks in front off of a skate just wide of the goal as Calto was there in the slot. Pressure again by the Generals.
They're the ones moving their feet, but here's an opportunity. Vlasic, good read.
Novotny was in a foot race. He had Parrish alone in front, but a good read by the Gens. And I'm surprised that wasn't whistled down as Novotny tried to swipe that puck away from Moore when he was offside. Here's Griffin carrying it back in for the Generals. Pass for Calto, didn't make it to him. Griffin ties up Faulkner. Griffin goes down. It's just a stick-on-stick battle. Partridge heard the heads-up call at the last second as Moore was bearing down on him. And now a loose puck picked up by Hammond in the Oshawa zone. Hartnell from the point, quick shot. That one blocked by Calto, and he'll jump on it himself. Head to center and dump it in. Holden Carter deep in his own zone. That one picked off by O'Donnell, and Franson will send it in. Johnston tees it up for Carter behind his net. Vlasic pinches down to send it deep again into the Peterborough zone. We're quickly jumped on by Harrison Franson. Wang in there trying to dig it free. And the Petes will finally come out with it. Soto had it in his skates. Couldn't find it. O'Donnell does. And Colin Feely will find Aiden O'Donnell at the Petes blue line. Sifts it through. Wang onto it. Spins. Looks back to the point for Feely. His long shot tipped on the way in. And Matthew Wang got a piece of that. And then the Petes reacting after perhaps a late whack by Wang onto the pad of Johnston, who made a good save on that one too, and an important save late in his first period.
Yeah, they all are now. I mean, already trailing by 3, approaching the end of the first period of play, and the Generals are buzzing. They're the ones moving their feet in the offensive zone, and just too much open ice in the D zone, down the middle of the ice as well for the Oshawa Generals, the Peterborough Petes, missing their defensive zone assignments and not moving their feet in the D zone. It's been a combination that's led to some nice opportunities for the Oshawa Generals.
They're at Aiden O'Donnell. Saw his name on the Central Scouting list, ranked 84th in the January rankings. Gens are offside. That'll allow the Petes a little time to move this ahead. And here is Walton. Dances away into the Oshawa zone. A shot deflected wide, though. Walton quickly onto it himself in the corner, and it got the puck back from the skates of Young. Moore wants to jump into the rush. Figliameni back on. That puck came out as Walton brings it back in, and now he and Figliameni pushing and shoving.
Walton's going for sure. We'll see if there's more. Punch to the face of Figliameni, immediately pointed at by the ref.
Lashon had jumped in.
Figliameni not usually shy about dropping the gloves, but he's past the suspension, and I think maybe Figliameni just evened this up.
He and Young were all tied up. A late shot.
Anything non-instigated upon comes with a multi-game suspension for Figliameni. If this is early October, those gloves are hitting the deck, I guarantee it.
So Moore was already headed to the box, as is Walton. Will Figliameni end up getting the extra penalty on this play?
There you go. So that was the question with the initial engagement. Was it just Walton or was it both? Turns out it was both, and then Figliameni gets an extra.
So here's how it began. Just a stick lift, and then Moore came in. That shot there was enough for the penalty, as was the one up high by Walton. And Moore coming in, and then late in his fray, Figliameni will give a late shove to Young. It wasn't a punch to the face, but it was behind the referee, and who may have called it on the reaction to Young's back hitting the boards. As you see the play continue on a little bit, the Petes will end up with a power play out of this, and an important one with 2:08 left. But an explanation being given to Mario Pouliot right now at the Generals bench.
Bad news for the Petes. Kieran Walton in the box. 10 power play goals, tied for 6th in the Ontario Hockey League. 28 power play points, tied for 2nd most in the OHL. He won't be a part of this power play.
Franson falls there on the puck. He will be in no rush to get up off of it, but it comes out to Vlasic, and Lashon will be able to find a lane to get it towards the blue line. Jumping, though, was Novotny to climb the ladder and bring that down.
It's listed at 6'1". I'm guessing 6'1.5" based on that.
Novotny curls at the top of the circle. The point Perreault back for Novotny. Walking it in. No lane to shoot. Passes across, and a laser across his own wraparound try. And what a save by Lashon. He pinned himself to the far post when it looked like Humphreys wasn't going to get there. Here's Kolarek. His shot deflected by Vlasic. Gives an extra flex to the stick to make sure it's okay. And then Novotny stick handling at the blue line brings it out himself. And then he's too quick to come back in before Soto could get out. And it's an offside call against the Petes.
Great opportunity for the Petes on the power play. Humphreys bites hard here on this cross-ice pass because he has to. Kolarek is wide open, and it was a great pass, so he's a little bit off balance, takes a tumble, desperation slides back to the far post, but LaShawn, who ends up jamming the skate against the post and keeping the wraparound attempt at bay. Nice play from the young D-men, getting some encouragement here from D-coach Derek Walzer. Fans will be familiar with him.
Yeah, certainly some Peterborough flavor on the Oshawa bench, and the assistant coaches, Walzer and Michael Ferrugia.
Yeah, talked about off the top. Ferrugia in minor hockey days, coach Pete's goaltender Mason Johnston for the Peterborough Petes, U16 OMHA champions, and also spent some time coaching Carson Cameron with the Central Ontario Wolves at the U13 level.
Sent down to the Pete's line. Kolarek carries it to center, then drops it back. Here's Perreault to gain the Oshawa line, and he'll send it in and chase after it himself. Feely will beat him to it. Soto trying to dig that puck free, does. Didn't get it back to the point initially, and the second try picked off by Griffin. He'll send it down the ice. Johnston alone with Calto bearing down on him, banks it off the boards, and a good pass to find Novotny. Carries it into the Oshawa end. Novotny turns the corner, cuts towards the net, and it slid off his stick before he could fire it. Cameron settles the puck down, long shot, made it through, and Humphreys at the top of the blue. It goes down. Cameron gets a shot and had a man alone in front. And Lutz can't believe it, as he was right there. Off a scrambled draw, the Petes get a great opportunity late. But it's the Oshawa Generals who pour on the offense. As you get a look at this late try that jumped over the stick of Lutz. 4 goals in the first period, as the Gens come out squeaky clean, and a 4-1 lead after one. We'll head to the intermission. You're watching Oshawa Generals hockey on Rogers TV.
Knights of Columbus TV bingo trains are rolling. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. right here on Rogers TV. We're proud sponsors of the Oshawa Generals. We hope they win every game, and we hope you play every TV bingo game right here on Rogers TV. Go Generals, go!
This winter has pushed every Durham region home to the limit. If your furnace is struggling and you're worried it won't last until spring, pay attention to the signs. Stay warm and avoid a midwinter breakdown. TauntonTrades.ca.
We want to talk to parents about online safety and a concerning new threat identified by investigators, often referred to as the community or the COM, who are manipulating children online and coercing them into criminal acts, including hoaxing, coordinated online attacks, and swatting incidents.
They use grooming, manipulation, secrecy, intimidation, and emotional pressure to gain trust and exploit young people. These offenders operate across gaming platforms, social media, and messaging apps.
You know your child best. If something feels off, trust your instincts. For more information, please visit drps.ca/online safety.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. Wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a Holden 1 at 15.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Do you like movies? You do? What a coincidence, because I host a show called Cinema Scene, which features movie reviews and interviews. It's the big screen on the small screen with Cinema Scene.
Welcome back inside the Tribute Community Center, where the Generals have a 4-1 lead on the Petes after 20 minutes of play. Pleased now to be joined by the Petes' Kieran Walton. And Kieran, Your team's been on a heater as of late. You come into this one winners of 4 straight, but a tough first period for you guys there. What went wrong for your club in that opening 20?
Yeah, it starts with me and the older guys, but we were terrible in the D zone. Not getting anything out, just not helping our goalie out there. So we got to smarten up there in the D zone and then get in the D zone, take care of the O zone. So.
This is your first taste of the Oshawa Peterborough rivalry. Yeah. What do you think of it after your first 20 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, they're getting the better of us right now, so we got to wake up, kind of go into the second period, forget about the first, just move on, do the right things, and we'll be scoring goals.
We've talked about how good the team overall has been in the last little bit. You were acquired from the Sudbury Wolves on January 9th, and since then you have been on an absolute tear since you've been a member of the Petes. 19 points in 13 games coming into this one. What's working well for you, so well in Peterborough?
Yeah, you know what? The coaching staff's giving me a lot of trust, and really good teammates I'm playing with, and yeah, they're finding me the puck, and it's able to be going in. So,
Kieran, thanks for your time.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Kieran Walton only held pointless in 1 game of his 13 so far with the Peterborough Petes. We'll have more of the first intermission coverage after the break here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Hello to your cell phone. How can I help?
Adults I need somebody, not just anybody. Won't you please, 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 please help me?
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Hi, I'm Ian Taylor, Director of Hockey Development at Ontario Minor Hockey. Today we're going to talk about speed with the puck.
The most important thing to remember is to eliminate unnecessary stick handling and underhandle the puck. This is an open ice or breakaway technique where the player pushes the puck with one hand on the stick in order to skate at full speed. The puck should be out in front of the body and off to the side. Push the puck ahead on the backhand with the bottom edge of the stick blade. The stick hand extends at the elbow and pushes the puck forward. The hands stay out of the area in front of the hips, and this allows for long, powerful strides. Underhandling is a key skill to maintain speed and allows the player to keep their eyes up and to read the play around them.
Check out more Chalk Talk episodes on Rogers TV and more drills and resources at omha.net.
Very good.
Welcome back inside the Tribute Community Center, and to really know what goes on here at the Tribute Community Center, you've got to talk to this man, Jay Laxon, the Director of Operations here. Jay, you guys were busy before this season, but this season, you got the Oshawa Firewolves in here as well. They don't play on the ice, so it's just another thing you have to worry about here at the Tribute Community Center. Walk me through the last week here.
Last week was torture, but it's good torture. We went from Gens right into the Globetrotters, back into Gens. We had 1 day off. We loaded in Hardy on Tuesday, Wednesday, which were 2 rehearsal days, and then on to the concert Thursday. Friday we had Gens. Saturday we had FMX. Back into Gens on the Sunday. A couple of days reprieve, and now we're back into Gens. We go into Firewolves tonight. We're going into it, and then back into Gens on Monday, and then we have Offspring on Wednesday. So it's a lot of turnover in the building.
So let's focus on tonight. So we've got the game here tonight between the Generals and the Petes, and then tomorrow you've got the Firewolves back here. What is going to happen after the final whistle blows here tonight?
We're going to have a guys' night out, which is a tradition with Gens. After the guys' night out, we've got a staff of 14 people coming in. We're going to lay the floor, lay down the turf, and we're going to be game ready probably by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and this is a great look. This is a time lapse of you guys changing over from the Generals' ice to the Firewolves floor. We're seeing it obviously in very fast motion. How long does this take you?
Start to finish, about 5 hours. This particular one was the second time that we had done it. We laid it down a little differently the first time because we just didn't know how the rolls would line up and match up to the number. So we went kind of center ice to the east, center ice to the west, but this is the second time we did it. That one took about 6 hours getting used to it. Now we're down to about 5 hours all in.
So you're going to have another crew coming in here after the game ends tonight to help you put that all down. So in total, I think you said 14 people. Is that how many it takes to make the changeover?
For this particular changeover, every event's different. Some concerts I could use 10 staff, some concerts 14. It all depends on what the animal is you're facing. There's a lot of unsung heroes behind the scenes, not just the conversion staff, it's all the post-event cleaning as well.
What is the most difficult thing about making these conversions?
Timing. I'm the deliver, right? So a lot of the promise is done by Josh, our director of operation or events. We're the deliver. We need to make it happen. Either way, the show will go on.
So of course, hockey season and the Firewolves season run concurrently. In your estimation, how many days would this arena be quiet during September to April?
That's a tough question to answer because it ebbs and flows. Like, we know what the Gen season is, we know what the Firewolf season is, but it also depends on what's being booked in the building. So there's some stretches like the one I just talked about. We were doing 11 events in 14 days. Sometimes we're a little quieter. You know, Gens are every Friday and Sunday. We know that. So there are a couple of days off a week that we do get, but busy is good. Very good.
Well, I don't think you're getting a day off for a little while yet with a busy weekend here, so I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today. It's always interesting seeing how things work behind the scenes here, and Jay, you do a great job. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dump.
Jay Laxton, the Wizard, we'll call you.
Not at all.
Okay, well, maybe...
Army. It's a village here and an army. It's not me. It's everybody else, the staff.
So what should I call you?
Jay.
All right. Jay Laxton, the Director of Operations here at the Tribute Community Center. We'll have the first period highlights on the other side of the break here on Rogers TV.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm so happy to have these prosthetic legs. I wear them every day so I can do all the things I love to do. I like to hike, skate, and do gymnastics. Because of your donations, Lamps is able to give me these devices. When you donate, you help kids like me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Judith Tate, host of At the Heart of Business on Rogers TV. Join us for some enlightening conversations with women in business discussing their challenges and their successes. Heard only here on Rogers TV Durham.
If you're looking for straightforward recipes that are surefire crowd pleasers and really delicious, I hope you'll tune in to Season 5 of my show, Paula Roy's Favorite Foods on Rogers TV. There's everything from mouth-watering salads to delicious make-ahead meals, lots of baking, even some pickles, and I'm sure there's something for everyone in this season's lineup. I'll offer some ideas to help make your time in the kitchen more effective and fun, and perhaps you'll even watch it with your whole family.
The Generals looking to rebound after losing 6-0 on Wednesday night up in the nation's capital and looking pretty good through 20 minutes as they have a 4-1 lead on their arch rivals, the Peterborough Petes. Let's get a look now at those first period highlights. It didn't take long for the Generals offense to get going in this one, as it's going to be Harrison Franson from high in the slot beating Mason Johnston for Franson. It's his 19th of the season. Aidan O'Donnell picks up an assist there in his 100th career game. 1-0 Oshawa. And then a big moment coming up here for Nepean's Caleb Hartnell as he scores his first career OHL goal. Congratulations, Caleb Hartnell. That's a moment he's going to remember for the rest of his life. And that goal would tie this game at 1. And then bit of a bunch up in the crease. And eventually Lucas Moore's going to swoop in and put this shot past Mason Johnston. But you can see Charlie Hilton in the crease there. So the Peterborough Petes would challenge this goal, but in the end the challenge was no good. So that put the Petes down a man, and on the power play, Owen Griffin would convert his 22nd of the season, and that would make this a 3-1 game. Aidan O'Donnell picking up another assist here on the Owen Griffin goal. But the Generals weren't done there, as Harrison Franson gets a break, and he picks up his 20th of the season, and that would make this a 4-1 game. As we get a look at the Taunton Trades first period scoring summary. Franson over the scoring with his 19th of the season. Caleb Hartnell would tie things up, but then the Generals would get goals from Lucas Moore, Owen Griffin, and then another one from Franson, and they lead 4-1 after one period of play. Shots in the first period, 13-10 in favor of the Oshawa Generals. The second period on the other side of the break here on Rogers TV.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
I am Gagwege. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
I am a champ.
I am a champ. I am a champ. I am a champ. I am a champ. A member of the Warham's Child Amputee Program, thanks to your donations.
Welcome back to Oshawa. 4-1 Generals lead after one period of play. But hey, congratulations to this score. Andrew Osmond, our co-host and commentator and a great guy among us here at Oshawa and Rogers TV, and his wife Haley welcomed baby Riley Osmond, their beautiful young daughter, January 30th. Congratulations goes out to the Osmond family. And hey, while we're at it, a happy 18th birthday to Austin Colley, our director tonight, our TV high school co-op, who is in the booth and celebrating his 18th birthday here with us. Doing a great job. Thanks very much, Austin. Thanks to all the volunteers who make this possible day in and day out for Oshawa Generals broadcasts.
Yeah, Andrew and Haley, congratulations. So happy to see everything's well, and the baby girl Riley is healthy and mom's doing well as well. So big congratulations, and yes, a happy birthday to Austin. Does so much for us in the truck. Great young talent here, and don't be afraid to reach out to Rogers TV if you want to get in the mix as well. Get involved in the television business. That young man right there, Austin Colley, a bright future in the TV business.
We are on Rogers TV, of course, tonight as well. It's across the OHL, the Friday Night Faceoff. Catch it on TSN Plus too, so we go coast to coast. The Gens and Petes, one of the greatest rivalries in junior hockey, and the Gens loving the rivalry more than the Petes at this point in time. The 4-1 lead heading to the second period.
And a new goaltender in between the pipes for the Peterborough Petes to start the second period. Easton Rye starts the second frame as Mason Johnston is done after 20 minutes, gave up 4 goals on 13 shots. Easton Rye did play last night for the Peterborough Petes in a big 7-3 win over the Ottawa 67s. Was fairly busy as well. Wasn't a light night for him by any means. Faced 34 shots, stopped 31 of them in the 7-3 win. He's in now for Peterborough.
He's also a Peterborough native, but played some of his minor hockey in U16 with the Ajax Pickering Raiders locally. He's committed to Bentley University, a D1 school in Massachusetts. He will come in to try and plug the drain here in Oshawa, as we get an icing call early, as the Generals exploding out to 4 goals. And really, to get the second goal and then right away a goaltender interference challenge that goes for naught for Peterborough leads to a power play for the Gens, ranked 19th in the OHL, and they score on it. From there, the Gens have just been continuing on. Face-off not done cleanly here. Walton was about to fire off what looked like an Aiden Young win.
Still plenty of time and plenty of runway left in this game. The Peterborough Petes are most definitely a team that can score in bunches, but a dream start for the Generals, up 4-1 after 1.
Here's Calto as he falls, sweeps a goal, shot on net. Rye the save. Lashon going to play that across the blue line to Moore. It comes out. Going to be forced to backtrack. And Lashon will send it in off of Posthumus. Strohack protects it away from Griffin. Goes right through the slot. Comes out on the near side where Lashon goes back for it. Tips ahead for Matthew Wang. Plays it back deeper in his own zone. Lashon will send it off the end boards. Call ahead up the middle from O'Donnell. Falling was Fraser. O'Donnell with a lane to the net. Fraser recovering to get his stick in the way of that. Deflected up and out of play.
Yeah, great job by Garrett Fraser, closing that time and space quickly, getting his feet activated and getting into the lane. Stick in the lane as well. Deflection goes up and over the net. There's a look at Easton Rye's impressive numbers this season. No small sample size by any means. Plays a huge chunk of the games for the Peterborough Petes. The goals against 271, but the save percentage, very, very nice. 917 on such a large sample size in the Ontario Hockey League.
Plastic across the blue line. Feely, long shot into the crowd. That one deflects wide. Novotny onto it. Look out, he was lined up by Matthew Wang. And a clean hit sends Novotny down, tipped on goal in front by Franson, who's on hat-trick watch, and that one a good stop by Rye. Back the other way, Novotny. He'll get the shot away. Good to see he's fine after taking that hit.
Well, that's always the case. Well, not always, often the case with the clean hits, right? It's the dirty hits that end up in injuries, but clean ones right through the chest. Usually both players able to pop right back up.
Here's Matthew Wang. Cutting into the slot, backhand towards the goal, trying to find it. O'Donnell comes to the point, gets past Feely, will go down the ice. Lucas Moore scored in that first period. Thwarted at the Pete's blue line and be dumped back in by Bird Leitner. Rye will play it around. Faulkner couldn't control. Now Murnane goes across the neutral zone for Smirnov, who'll send it in. Picked off at center by Smirnov, and Gens will just backhand it back into the Pete zone again. Chasing after it is Carter, hit by Bird Leitner. Murnane will be forced back into his own zone, but it'll be an icing call against the Petes. Of course, played last night against Ottawa in a big win. We'll have tomorrow and Sunday off before an afternoon contest on Family Day at home to the Kitchener Rangers.
Got to look at the biggest hit of this game so far. Matthew Wang catches Novotny, who more so was worried about the pursuit behind him from Harrison Franzen, trying to fend off the check, but has to get his head up. It does just in time, likely to brace. Takes a quick breath and right back up to his feet. In fact, jumped up into the rush and got a scoring opportunity at the other end as well. Nice check, nice clean hit there by Matthew Wang.
Shoulder to chest. Puck sent out to center and then spun in. It hit the linesman. That gives a break for Faulkner. Threw it in front. And he was looking for the tip from Partridge and didn't connect. And Figliameni's got it the other way. Hilton holds the line. And then a big hit on the far side as Hammond threw his weight in the Rowan Sang. Carter shot off the side of the post. Sounded more ferocious than it was. As Sang will send it in off Figliameni and Strohack back in front of his net. Generals in the midst of a change. Long lead pass to Parrish. Met by Moore and pinned to the boards. Goes behind the Oshawa net. Calto couldn't get it out initially. Now a chance for Griffin. Pokes it free. 2-on-1 with Figliameni. Griffin waits, holds, fires off the goalpost. And it'll end up out of play. Owen Griffin had Figliameni. There's a potential pass across on the 2-on-1, but he was thinking short side the whole way.
Nice chip and go from Owen Griffin. Gets around the D-man. Figliameni stick on the ice. Open for the pass, but Owen Griffin, in his 22 goals on this season for the Oshawa Generals, decides to keep and shoot. Almost found the back of the net, off the bar, up and over the glass.
Gen's leader in goals.
Scored in the first period.
Figliameni has 3 on the year. He was waiting to fire that into the open cage. Hartnell, who has the lone Petes goal, sends us ahead. It eludes everyone. It's an icing call against the Petes. They just found themselves on the back foot for much of this game so far.
Yeah, this is the 6th of 8 meetings this season between these storied rivals. The Peterborough Petes, as you might guess, the upper hand thus far. 4 wins out of the 5 games.
Outscoring the Generals 22-12 over that stretch. Matthew Soto, 4 goals and 5 assists to lead both teams in points throughout. Novotny, though, has 4 goals and 3 assists, but he only played 4 games in the way, of course, of the World Juniors when these 2 teams last met December 28th. A couple of attempts to do this face-off, and now they finally do drop the puck. Beats control. Opts over a stick, though. Here's Griffin into the slot for Calto. Couldn't get a shot on net. Moore pokes it free into the corner for Griffin. Took a hit from Young, and then it's flipped up high by Novotny. Walton trying to chase it down. Following up, Young couldn't shovel it at the side of the goal. Soto in on the forecheck, too. And Griffin will look rink wide, trying to stretch past to find Posthumous, but unable to jump around Hartnell. It'll be an icy call against the Gens.
And Fraser was back enough to get that whistle. Gens fans might be saying, why'd they blow it down if Easton Rye touched that puck? But Fraser had gotten down below the hash marks to activate that no-touch icing whistle. Look at the Petes record on the road. We talked about it off the top. It's definitely been a big difference, home versus road, the friendly confines of the PMC. 21-6-1 for Peterborough. Fantastic home numbers, but away from home, 9-13-2, and with them currently entrenched in that 4th place position, 6 points up on 5th and home ice advantage currently. That could be a big get for the Peterborough Petes, as they clearly have had a lot more success on home ice this season.
Dig for the puck in the Generals' corner. Sean to a knee, will get back up. Pinned to the boards, now he falls. Posthumous sweeps it free, and it's poked off his stick. Sean back up to his feet, a penalty coming. And I think it might be an interference call or holding the stick. But who had control of the puck? I think it was the Generals, and it'll be Leo Lashon, who had just gotten back up to his feet and gets called.
Both teams power play advantages in the first period of play. The Peterborough Petes not capitalizing on theirs, but Kieran Walton was serving a matching minor at the time, so Didn't have his skates on the ice. He, of course, will be on the ice for this Peterborough power play. Keep an eye on big number 22, some of the best numbers in the OHL on the man advantage.
It's on that left wing side. Left of the face-off of Aiden Young, who wins it cleanly. And the Gens will come up with it, and Feely will send it off the boards and out and down the ice.
Nice job by Feely in tight, too. Not a lot of room to work with. He got that up and off the glass and down the ice.
Novotny speeds his way up the ice and into the Oshawa zone. Drops it back quickly for Soto. He's met by Matthew Wang. And Wang will be unable to clear this puck. Walton at the point flips it into the corner. Off over the stick of Novotny. Perreault jumps up. Keeps the puck in the Oshawa zone. Novotny on his backhand. Put it into the corner. Soto had it poked away from him. Young onto it quickly. Scrambling along the boards. Walton on the far side will keep it in. At the point, Perreault for Novotny. Trying to step around Matthew Wang. Curls and looks back to the point to Perreault. Quickly across for Walton. Well, quick with the stick, not the puck. Walton's shot, though, fired wide. And the carom goes all the way around the boards and down the ice.
High far side, missing the net. Oftentimes, you get that rim around, and that's an important change for the Oshawa Generals. The long change in the second period. They get some fresh PK guys on the ice.
Novotny ahead for Parrish. Met at the blue line, maybe a chance shorthanded here for Calto as he jumps up, trying to get around Perreault, but a good stick by Perreault just to knock it into the corner, and then Calto with the reverse hit to knock down Perreault. Peterborough rookie Matthew Perreault. He wants off, and it'll be led ahead by Lutz. Parrish across the Oshawa line, looked in front at Lutz on the far side. Pass was deflected away. And then kicked back to the line, kept in. Shot blocked by Calto. Kolarek down into the corner. Lutz pokes it out front. They bang away at it. Down is the goaltender Humphreys. Loose. And behind the net ends up the puck. Another big block by Calto. Keeps that shot away. Lutz back for Kolarek. And that shot goes wide. Penalty over. Lashon back on. And the Generals get control of it. A scramble that keeps the puck out. And this will be an icing call against the Gens. And they'll want to change. Calto, who was reeling after blocking that last shot, won't be allowed to change, but they'll get the benefit of the TV timeout. The Gens bend but don't break on the penalty kill. Big hits as the rivalry continues in Oshawa on Rogers TV.
Groundhog forecasts are never certain, but one thing is, winter isn't over. If your furnace is barely hanging on, a replacement could help you avoid waking up to a cold, heatless home. TauntonTrades.ca.
Downtown Whitby is more than just a downtown. It's a vibrant blend of historic charm and modern life. With over 300 businesses and services, you'll find everything you need. Shop, dine, and discover why downtown Whitby truly has it all.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
Look at Lucas Moore and a pair of points, including a goal in that first period.
Activating for the back end, getting his feet moving down below the hash marks on a mad scramble in front. Finds a loose puck and jams it home, picked up an assist as well. So a 2-point first period for the veteran D-man for the Gens.
Puck in the Oshawa zone. Battle in the corner. Sean out of the penalty box against Hammond, former first overall pick of the Erie Otters a few years back. Came across in a trade along with Fraser for Blake Gowan and a few picks. Puck sent down the ice right on net. Rye plays it. Carter will start it ahead. Strohack across the Oshawa line, met there by Timmerman. Strohack chasing it down in the corner. Hammond, who just overskated it. Franson ahead. Franson stops, waits, fires. Going off the skate of Thatcher and will end up out of play.
Now there's a look at Caden Thatcher from Bethany, Ontario. Small town not far from here. Actually used to live there. Shout out the ski and snowboard ranch for our old school Bethany residents. So big game for him. Peterborough's obviously closer, but Oshawa not a far drive either. I'm sure he has some friends and family in the building.
Spent some time at Devil's Elbow back in the day. The Bethany area. There's a face-off win. O'Donnell, quick shot. That was a great save from Rye.
That was for the skiers. The snowboarders, we were at the ranch just around the corner. That's where the real parties are at.
Young will tip it into the Oshawa zone. Moore into the corner. Walton will get to it first. Met there by Franson. Walton wins the better of that battle. Puck squirts free. Puts it behind the Oshawa net. And into the corner where Matthew Wang battles against Matthew Soto and sent around the boards by the Generals. Not enough for icing. So O'Donnell will try and chase this down. Getting to it first was Fraser. He'll send this ahead, but it was up in the air. And unable to knock that down, Soto. It's an icing call against the Petes.
Generating opportunities off of face-offs. Matthew Wang with a nice clean win back to Aiden O'Donnell, and that's a drawn-up play. That's exactly what they wanted to happen there. Matthew Wang leans in, clean win, and Aiden O'Donnell, what he has to do is the clean release. He executes that perfectly, but nice save by Easton Rye. Stopped 4 shots so far in this second period after coming in relief to start the frame.
Pete's Young wins that face-off over Griffin, but Griffin slashing at the puck in the corner. And will squirt to the blue line. Moore will keep it in and send it around the Pete zone. Griffin picks it up behind the net. Back for Blasek. Throw it down low again. Calto trying to get to it. Fraser does first. Keeping it in the far blue line is Moore. Down low for Calto. Who squeaks it out front for Posthumous. Didn't shoot. Now looks back to the point for Blasek. He'll fire. And that one didn't make it through the crowd. And Walton starts back the other way. Rink wide pass finds Aiden Young. Young pinned to the boards by Blasek in a textbook hip check. Cameron on the far side throws it towards the goal, tipped by Walton, but it just dribbles on net, and Humphreys will grab onto it.
Kieran Walton shaking his head as he heads off to the bench. If he was able to flag that one down, there was not a General within 5-10 feet of him, and he was right around the edge of the blue paint. Here's the quick little crossovers from Brady Blasek, leans into his man, says Aiden Young will not pass. Jen's a little bit of a breakdown in the defensive zone though, leaving Kieran Walton so far unmarked, and he is still shaking his head as he was almost able to knock that puck out of midair. If he was able to settle it, he was all by himself with a scoring chance.
34 goals in the year, the guy you do not want to leave alone.
Hard to miss too, 6'6", what is he, 227.
Jens will get this out. Bird Leitner across the neutral zone, Smirnoff. Long shot, gloved down by Rye. And he will hang on to it. And that is his job, Easton Rye. Just hold the fort. Give his team a chance to try and claw their way back.
Well, we're almost halfway through the 60-minute regulation time, but you're right, Mike, when he comes in after the first period, comes in to start the second, still 40 minutes of play, a 3-goal deficit, and a team as loaded as the Peterborough Petes. Certainly a game that is far from over. Peterborough Petes have to find a way to get some pucks past Matthew Humphreys at the other end, and they're going to need to generate some more shots to do so. Just 3 shots on goal in this middle frame so far, as we're very close to halfway through it.
This puck squirts off the face-off to Rye. He calmly plays it for Perreault. Being watched by Hilton. Back in. And the Petes into the offensive zone, Novotny. Figliamendi behind his net, sweep it around. First opportunity, second time does get it up to Rowan Sang. Tried to curl back and lost the handle as he went down. Following up, Kolarek centers, and that one chipped on goal, save made by Humphreys. Sang back the other way to Figliamendi. Couldn't get around Novotny. Novotny picks up the puck and starts right back. And he delays, though, across the blue line. I think both Lutz and Carter on the far side were offside.
Yeah, Matthew Perreault took a puck up into the face. The referee quickly signaling no call, made the puck signal. Looks like he's not bleeding, so checking for loose teeth as well, should be okay. And here's Rowan Sang, just trying to protect the puck, but you got to chip that out. You can't be making those plays 5 feet inside your own blue line, and we see what happens. Turnover, quick chance towards goal. Good, hard, low release, but Matthew Humphreys, great job dropping to the butterfly, kicking that one out. Matthew Perreault getting some dental adjustments on the bench after taking that puck up high.
Check of the Chicklets. Play continues on. Sent in by Hammond. Moore back for it. He gets crushed on a big hit by Hammond, who came in heavy. And Hammond, a big figure himself, too, at 6'3", 198. It's a long shot by Matthew Wang, goes wide. Kept in by Moore, who remains on. And Hammond will pick up the puck. Kept by Matthew Wang, who tees it up for Franson, right back into the Pete zone. Backhands it behind the net. Chases after it. Carter will get to it. Started ahead, a long lead pass to the Oshawa blue line. And Faulkner gets it across. Strohack. Shot is blocked. Pete's in the midst of a change. And they keep the puck in the zone momentarily. Wang couldn't find it. It was in his skates. And he lifts the stick for a steal. And we'll throw it out into the neutral zone. Soto, the former Oakville Ranger, and Kingston Frontenac, former teammate of Callum Ritchie on that Oakville squad, will send a shot on net, save made by Humphries.
And that's the last year we can talk about this Oakville Junior Rangers squad, the overage season for Matthew Soto. Of course, a number of those players have moved on to professional hockey. Nick Lardis, Cal Ritchie being amongst that, but what an Oakville Junior Ranger that squad that was. Absolutely loaded. Solid 5 years in the Ontario Hockey League, with plenty of players spread across that time frame as well.
He'll continue on his career at Bowling Green, the famous alma mater in the broadcasting world. Mike Johnson, Gary Galley.
At Oakville Junior Rangers draft year, remember we interviewed Cal Ritchie from studio, and I think we both had some pretty long hair at that time and had some masks on as well, as it was the COVID unfortunate time of our lives.
Moore's shot deflected. Calto and Postmus dig for it. Calto will come out with it. Wraparound try. Griffin behind the net. And they score. It's Calto in front. Eyes were diverted as Kieran Walton was way down the ice at the Oshawa blue line, trying to back off the Generals D, but it left a 4-on-4 down low. Griffin with a great play to Calto. It's a 5-1 Generals lead.
Let's take a look at the D-zone assignments here. We'll see how many of the jerseys in white are fixated down low. So down low comes Calto, and look at all the jerseys completely focused. Now how many we have? 1, 2, 3, another one off screen, 4. There's 4 white jerseys inside the hash marks, between the hash marks and the goal line, and all are staring behind the goal line. Nobody sees 78 red creeping in, hash marks, and a quick little chip finds the back of the net. Big lead for the Gens, 5-1.
Pass from Griffin was a great one. The finish from Calto. And the Gens right back in the offensive zone. Smirnoff chasing down Thatcher. Strohack gets it to the line, not out, kept in by Plastic. Here's Roberts. Sam Roberts, a long shot. He had Bird Leitner teed up on the far side. But Roberts, we mentioned off the top, he was looking for a goal. Went for the shot on net.
Yeah, first round pick of the Generals and last OHL priority selection. 4 goals in his first 6 games to start his OHL career, but is in a drought now, 32 without a goal, hasn't scored since October 4th. But what we mentioned off the top, I think, is incredibly important. He can look to a leader on this team, a player in Owen Griffin, who in his rookie season went his first 58 games without scoring an Ontario Hockey League goal. It doesn't always come smoothly for 16-year-olds in this league, but look at Owen Griffin now, one of the most dangerous offensive players in the OHL, an NHL draft pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Your first year and your first handful of games don't make your career in the Ontario Hockey League, that's for certain. Sam Roberts will be just fine.
There's Bird Leitner who will chip it in. The Gens chase after it. Smirnoff trying to dig it free. Comes out to center, and Parrish across the Oshawa line, but quick delay, and that sends DiConzolo offside. Haven't seen much of Kira DiConzolo, the Peterborough rookie. And a quick shift for him.
Third rounder out of Buffalo, New York. A handful of American-born players on this Peterborough Petes roster, and obviously that's something we're going to see more and more of with the new transfer eligibility rules between the NCAA and the CHL. We'll see a lot more Americans coming on up for their 16, 17, and maybe even longer seasons into the Ontario Hockey League.
He's committed to Penn State in 2028, so a couple of years with the Petes. wins the draw, and Carter will spin it in the Oshawa zone. Lutz on the chase, bodied by Hilton. Freed and centered out front. Novotny was there and never made it to the far end of the Choleric pass. Here's Carter. Rink wide, Lutz couldn't knock it out of the air. Moore sends it ahead, and a high hit.
Penalty coming, that's a cheap shot.
That was a really bad hit. Fraser, who launched right up into Figliameni, who never touched that puck. It's a charging call. Both referees had it, and I think it's just a 2-minute variety.
He got
this one could have been worse.
Yeah, he got his money's worth on this one. Puck jumps over the stick of Figliameni, some time passes, and then in launching up, and good thing Figliameni bobs and weaves there, gets his head off to the left-hand side, or else it could have been elbow, shoulder, right through the chin.
Well, Figliameni, who looked like he was in a bit of discomfort in the first period after missing a hit he was throwing. Seems to be okay after that one.
Jen's second power play of the game. Owen Griffin capitalized in the first period. Oshawa 1 for 1 in the opening frame.
6 for 18 in the season series, the Generals. Far better than their average numbers. They operated close to 30% in the season series against Peterborough. 17 overall. Here's Griffin. At the point, Timmerman. Timmerman's shot, that one blocked. Comes back to Griffin. He'll find Posthumus on the far side, just slid under his stick, so he'll have to chase it down, gives to Griffin at the point. Back for Posthumus. Posthumus winds, fires, and it goes off of Cameron. Remains in play, and the Petes will get it out in the neutral zone.
Yeah, misread there on the hard rim, back to the point. Timmerman had creeped in and was off the wall. The rim gets right past him.
Posthumus didn't get much on that as he played it to the corner. Now the Petes will try and rag it there as the bodies fall on top of it. And Generals dig it free. Timmerman looks in front all alone, and a chance for Posthumus. Backhand, another try. Trying to send it off the goaltender. And that one remains out. Pete's in the midst of a change. Generals have them caught. Posthumus across the line. Luke Posthumus, the shot, Rye the save, and he'll jump on the rebound.
Dangerous looking power play through the first minute, 7 seconds. A couple of good opportunities, a bit chaotic around the blue paint with some mad scrambles, and it was a board battle with 3 of the 4 penalty killers for the Peterborough Petes caught in the corner. Puck comes out, ends up on the stick of the Oshawa Generals, and a nifty little pass in front to Luke Posthumus. Easton Rye misses on the poke check. Usually that's game over for a goaltender, but he stretches out. Puck ends up rolling off the stick of Posthumus anyways, but Rye seemed to have it covered either way.
First look for Unit 2. Wang wins the faceoff. Comes across for Bird Leitner, back for Lucas Moore. He walks the blue line, throws to Smirnov. And back for Moore, but the quick pass in the backhand, he didn't take a look first, and the puck will end up in the neutral zone. Bird Leitner will bring it back in. Fanned on the dump-in attempt. Rye out to play it. Spins it around the boards himself. Kept in by the Gens. Wang back at the point. Moore. They've got it settled down now. Bird Leitner curls it back to Moore. Back for Bird Leitner. The shot. And that one, a rising bullet, gloved down by Rye. He'll hang on with 15 seconds left from the man advantage.
There was all kinds of traffic in front, though. Did it park just in time for Rye to find this puck? Gens will work this one up high across the top, and Bird Leitner with a big shot. Lots of jerseys. This will be a good look at what potential screen Rye may have had to deal with. Yeah, there's jerseys in the way for sure. Sam Roberts is in the line of fire. Rye does a nice job of not only finding the puck, but shooting that glove up in the air as he had hit the butterfly with the puck going up high.
Face-off coming to the left of Rye. Franson out there will win the draw. O'Donnell trying to throw drag and fire, never got the shot away and on net. And Lashon trying to keep it in at the point, missed it. Now he'll just run a little bit of a pick on Walton as Fraser steps out of the box. A long lead pass for Wang, offside at the far blue line. TV timeout. The Oshawa Generals pad the lead. Ani Culto makes it 5-1 Gens. They're dialed in on Rogers TV.
Cook, host of Inside Durham. Join us Friday at 5 for your front row seat to the people and stories that make Durham Region shine. Real talk, local vibes, and good company, only on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Oshawa. There is a look at Kieran Walton, Winnipeg Jets prospect. He's an impressive force and a big pickup for the Petes at the deadline.
Yeah, he has points in 12 of 13 games as a member of the Peterborough Petes. The Gens have kept it clean here tonight. He's not been on the score sheet for the Peterborough Petes. 0 for 2 on the power play are Peterborough as well, where Walton does a lot of his damage.
He was in the box for the first Petes power play, but here's a face-off win. Lutz trying to pass that across to Kolarek, and it didn't make it through. Steal by Lutz. Pass back to the point, though, picked off by Franson. He finds Matthew Wang. Wang trying to get around the corner of Perreault. Centered it, and O'Donnell couldn't get on the other end of that. There's a puck loose in front. Rye was trying to pull it in. Wound up, tied up with his own player in Lutz. Kolarek now chasing it down in the offensive zone.
Wave going around the crowd. I think maybe everyone's just showing that they adhered to the press release this week.
That's right. Oh, that puck came up, or stick came up. It's a follow-through that hit Vlasic, and it caught him up in the teeth. And the Generals fans don't like it, thinking it's a high stick, but it was a follow-through, so no penalty. Pete's control. Here's Lutz and a shot on goal. And that one saved. Hartnell. Pass back to the point, kept in. Long change for the Gens, and Vlasic remains on. A tough year for Brady Vlasic. And
he's taken some knocks for sure.
Taking a few up high.
A couple on Sunday, too.
Offside are the Petes. It was the door inside the Generals' blue line that caught them there. But you look at Brady Vlasic as he'll go to have the chicklets inspected as this follow-through from Novotny catches him up high.
Yeah, refs were on it, immediately signaled follow-through, and that's the right call. Brady Vlasic took a rocket shot off the arm, blocked a shot. It actually led to a Sudbury Wolves goal as he was trying to get back into the play after taking a rocket off the arm on Sunday. Obviously, he's just fine, scored his first career OHL goal in that game as well, and now takes a follow-through from Novotny up top, getting some repair work done to his mouth area.
Never feels good.
No.
Soto chased down by Calto. And Calto from his belly will backhand it to the Petes line. Strohack plays it across for Cameron. Carson Cameron will send it around the Oshawa zone. Moore back for it. Cuts it up the middle. He has Posthumus calling for it all alone. Luke Posthumus breakaway. Score! You could hear the screams from Posthumus as Moore picked up this puck behind his net. He was all alone down the ice as he sprung free. And Luke Posthumus makes no mistake. It is a 6-1 Oshawa lead.
Lucas Moore, a couple quick steps and a beautiful stretch pass, splits the D. And how about this finish? Woo-hoo-hoo. Backhand, forehand, shelving out. Beautiful release, beautiful shot, and Moore keeping his feet moving right in stride, right on the tape, and that's a beauty for Posthumus. 6-1, the Gens lead.
A filthy finish for Posthumus. And an icing call against the Gens.
That beats the goaltender cleanly.
Here's Bird Leitner. Heading back after an icing call against the Generals. But the offense has exploded. 6 goals on 25 shots. And the fans in Oshawa are loving it.
Well, it's building the Tribute Community Center that hasn't seen a lot of goals for the home squad this year, and 6 in the first 2 periods has certainly got them on their feet and cheering.
In with 120 goals scored, only 23, lowest in the OHL. Add to that category. Pushing and shoving after the whistle now, too. The Petes came in with the 3rd most penalty minutes in the Ontario Hockey League, behind only Barrie and Windsor. Things will be separated, and the face-off will be in the Oshawa zone.
No calls on the play. The Petes D stay outside the top of the circle, smartly so as well. So offensive zone face-off coming up. Quick little discussion here between Parrish and Hammond on what they want to do on this draw. Gens slowly coming off the bench, by the way. Very, very slowly making their way back to the defensive zone. Here they come. We're ready.
Hammond 59.8 in the face-off dot. But it'll be Matthew Wang who sweeps in this one for a winger win. Faulkner on the far side. Petes come up with the puck. Back at the point. Long shot. That one blocked by Murnane in front. Never made it on goal. Parrish brings it out. Threw it in front. Hammond was there. He couldn't get a shot on goal. At the point is Carter. His long shot. Blocker to side. Penalty coming. It'll go against the Generals. It's a cross check, and Lucas Moore will head off.
Net front, Lucas Moore is saying he didn't really extend on it. His stick was in tight. Interference is the call. Peterborough to the power play. 0 for 2 on the night. They'll get the full 2-minute crack at it as 2:09 remains here in this second period of play. Watch number 4 in red in front of the net. Well, yeah, that's a cross check. He's saying as he's going to the box, he had his stick pushed up against his own chest or stomach area, saying he didn't really have it extended, but sure, it started there, but it definitely extended.
Petes power play. Novotny a shot. Save made by Humphreys. Rebound controlled by the Petes. Here's Walton. In front, Young. Shot deflects wide, and now Humphreys has to keep it back.
Playing volleyball.
In behind the net as it was bouncing off the end glass and off the top of the goal in front. Here's Novotny. Walking it down, sharp angle across for Walton, and he took a shot from really sharp angle that ends up high and wide. Soto met quickly by Blasek. Gonna dig that free last shot. Comes up the boards, and Calto will find it for Oshawa. He'll give it to Griffin. And Blasek jumps in, 3-on-2 short-handed. Calto around the corner gets a shot away, and Rye the save. And he'll shovel the rebound back into play to keep the play alive. 1:15 to go in the period. Petes gain the Oshawa zone and send it around. Novotny at the point. Perreault across the blue line for Walton. Walton's long shot. Humphreys the save. Rebound. Novotny got the shot away, and diving across was Franson to block that. Perreault, long shot, rings off the pads of Humphreys. Walton looks across for Novotny. Picked off, though, by Calto, and he'll send it down the ice.
Shot blocking is a key for this penalty kill for the Oshawa Generals. Head coach Mario Pouliot raved about the work of the penalty killers, even on an example Wednesday in Ottawa, down 6-0, final 5 minutes of the game. Blocking shots, sacrificing their body, translates here as well.
Good habits on the penalty kill as Humphreys plays this around. It goes off the leg of Parrish, and Franson will get it out to center. Franson with a pair of shorthanded goals leads the Generals in that category. Near the rink wide pass, Cameron, some room to the net. Save made by Humphreys as he gloves it down with 16 seconds left in the period. 7 seconds left in the man advantage.
Nice save by Matthew Humphreys. Chances at both ends of the ice here on this power play. Shorthanded rush on Calto. Already a goal in this game. Tries to net drive 5-hole, but he's steered aside by Rye, who does a nice job to drop the puck and keep the play going. At the other end of the ice on the power play, set up a couple of chances for the Petes as well. 7 seconds in the power play, 16 in the period remain.
Face-off scrambled. Ends up in the slot area, but the Gens will pick it up. Franson will send it down the ice just as Moore steps back on. Just 6 seconds left in the period. And this one hooked up and out of play by Kolarek. The face-off will be in the neutral zone. Just 1.4 ticks left on the clock.
Yeah, that'll take us to the intermission. See if any rough stuff or shenanigans off the face-off. Other than that, just should be puck hits the ice, buzzer, and off to the second intermission we go.
Lutz and Hilton pushing and shoving after the
thought there
buzzer goes.
Might be some shenanigans.
1.4 seconds left and
Not
the puck
much,
drops. Though. But it's the Oshawa Generals, the only 2 goals of the period. They tack on to their lead A beautiful pass from Moore, a filthy finish from Posthumus. 6-1, the Generals lead on Rogers TV.
Knights of Columbus TV Bingo trains are rolling. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m., right here on Rogers TV. We're proud sponsors of the Oshawa Generals. We hope they win every game. We hope you play every TV bingo game right here on Rogers TV. Go, Generals, go!
We want to talk to parents about online safety and a concerning new threat identified by investigators, often referred to as the community or the COM, who are manipulating children online and coercing them into criminal acts, including hoaxing, coordinated online attacks, and swatting incidents.
They use grooming, manipulation, secrecy, intimidation, and emotional pressure to gain trust and exploit young people. These offenders operate across gaming platforms, social media, and messaging apps.
You know your child best. If something feels off, trust your instincts. For more information, please visit drps.ca/online safety.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you looking for new and exciting recipes to make in your kitchen? What's that? You need them to be gluten-free too? Not a problem. I'm Joel Mislick, the gluten-free guy, and I'll show you how to make some great recipes right in your own kitchen. Grab your apron and let's watch some gluten-free guy right here on Rogers TV.
Season 3 of Rogers TV Farm to Fork is about to begin. Last season, we took you on a variety of tours throughout the farms of the Kawartha Lakes. This season, we take a little fork in the road and we bring you food industries as well as farm tours. We went to a chocolatier, a winery, a cidery, a butcher, a little different, but still the same farms where all good food comes from. Every Friday night at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on Rogers TV.
Generals add 2 more goals in that second period to up their lead to 6-1 after 40 on the Peterborough Petes. As we welcome you back inside the Tribute Community Center, pleased now to be joined by the Generals' Ani Kalto. Ani, goal in this one for you. But let's go back to Wednesday night. You lose 6-0 up in Ottawa. How important was it for your side to have a performance like this to the opening 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's really, I think we were not that bad in Ottawa. We out-chopped them, but you know, today's been better and I'm happy. Yeah.
Coming back, or after you got back from the World Juniors, you just look like your confidence level has shot up. Do you feel that out there?
Yeah, that's true. I've been feeling really good and yeah.
So your first season here in the OHL, but you've played the Peterborough Petes a number of times already. This is the 6th matchup of the season between these two clubs. We all talk about how heated this rivalry is. How heated is it out on the ice?
It is really heated. I love these games. So much fire in the ice, so I love it.
Ani, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Ani Kalto, he's been great since returning for the World Juniors. 6 goals since he got back from Minnesota. The second intermission continues after the break here on Rogers TV.
Knights of Columbus TV Bingo trains are rolling. Tuesday nights, 7 p.m., right here on Rogers TV. We're proud sponsors of the Oshawa Generals. We hope they win every game. We hope you play every TV bingo game right here on Rogers TV. Go, Generals, go!
The Groundhogs can't agree on when spring will arrive, so don't gamble your comfort on a rodent's prediction. If your furnace is aging, it may be time to consider a replacement. TauntonTrades.ca.
Welcome back to Knights of Columbus TV Bingo every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on Rogers TV. 4 games every week with a grand prize of $5,000. Once again, 7 p.m. right here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Ian Taylor, Director of Hockey Development with Ontario Minor Hockey. Today we're looking at agility skating.
Edge control is crucial to developing overall skating skills. Keep the knees over the toes with feet together with both skates on the ice. Use the inside and outside edges to slalom using tight, sharp turns, pushing through the heels. Do the same movement backwards, this time pushing through the balls of the feet. Weaving on one leg allows players to feel the inside and outside edges of their skates. Create propulsion and speed by putting weight on and off the glide leg. When weaving backward, it's necessary to place pressure more on the toe in order to maintain balance versus pushing pressure on the heel when going forward.
Check out more Chalk Talk episodes on Rogers TV and more drills and resources at omha.net.
Very good. Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back inside the Tribute Community Center, where the Oshawa Generals enjoy a 6-1 lead on their bitter rivals, the Petes. After 40 minutes of play, let's get a look now at the second period highlights. Well, as you would expect in an Oshawa Peterborough game, it was physical. In that second period, lots of big hits thrown by both sides. Then Owen Griffin on the rush. He gets a good look, but he finds iron with his shot. Then Ani Kalto, good working on the forecheck, and he throws a big hit there. And Matthew Humphreys doing some nice work in the crease. The scrum around him, but he's able to keep that puck out. And then a good block by Kalto as he got in the way of that Kolarek shot. And some more good work by Humphreys. He gets the pad out here to make a fantastic save. Having to deal with all that traffic in the crease as well. And hey, here's some more hits. Brady Blasek steps in his man along the boards. Then Rowan Sang gets rubbed out along the boards. And that would lead to a Pete scoring chance, but a good stop there from Matthew Humphreys. And there, Brett Hammond. Hard hit on Lucas Moore. But we would see some goals in that second frame, as here Owen Griffin sets up Ani Kalto, and he picks up his 11th of the season. Great work behind the net by Owen Griffin to set up Kalto, who again has been great since returning from Team Finland at the World Junior Championship. And then Lucas Moore, he could hear Luke Posthumous calling for that puck. Moore sets him up on the breakaway, and Posthumous goes top shelf on Easton Rye to give the Generals a 6-1 lead. And that is the score after 2 periods of play here tonight on the Friday Night Faceoff, as we get a look at the Taunton Trade's second period scoring summary. Ani Kalto's 11th of the season. Owen Griffin and Luke Posthumous drawing the assists there. And then Luke Posthumous finds the back of the net himself, thanks to that nice long bomb pass from Lucas Moore for Posthumous. That is his 13th of the season. Shots of that second period, 13 for the Petes, 14 for the Generals. Generals have the edge through 2 periods, 27 shots for them, 23 for the Petes. We will have game notes after the break here on Rogers TV.
We want to talk to parents about online safety and a concerning new threat identified by investigators, often referred to as the community or the COM, who are manipulating children online and coercing them into criminal acts, including hoaxing, coordinated online attacks, and swatting incidents.
They use grooming, manipulation, secrecy, intimidation, and emotional pressure to gain trust and exploit young people. These offenders operate across gaming platforms, social media, and messaging apps.
You know your child best. If something feels off, trust your instincts. For more information, please visit drps.ca/online safety.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes. Do you travel for work? Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
Welcome back inside the Tribute Community Center, where after 40 minutes of play, it is all Generals. They lead the Petes 6-1 as we get set for game notes, joined by Mike Luck and Shane Hollinshead. And gentlemen, it was pretty ugly Wednesday night up in Ottawa for the Generals as they fell 6-0 to the 67s. So with that in mind, just how important is it to have a bounce-back performance like what we've seen so far through 40 minutes?
Well, let's face it, the season itself for the Oshawa Generals has had a particular stench to it, and so with that, you've got a season with 12 wins, 27 points so far. There's not been a lot to cheer about for the Oshawa Generals and their fans. Certainly not a lot of games where they've put up 6 goals, and certainly not against the Peterborough Petes. So having a bounce-back game like this in a rivalry matchup is a really important one, not only for the franchise, but for the city.
Yeah, and learning how to deal with different situations that might present themselves, right? This is a season of learning for a lot of these young 08 and 09 players for the Oshawa Generals, and bouncing back from a shellacking like the 6-0 defeat to the Ottawa 67s is something that hockey players need to learn to deal with, the ups and downs over the course of a regular season, and I think the response here has been close to perfect, if not perfect, from the Oshawa Generals. Rivalry night, Friday night, a big night here at the Tribute Community Center, all the extra noise that's been around this team this week for a couple of different reasons, and for the players to stay focused and keep that mental strength and focus on this game with a very strong Peterborough Petes team coming into their building, a team that won 7-3 last night. Yes, a back-to-back, but not much travel. You throw all that in the mix, and I think this is a high-quality game for the Oshawa Generals and just some of the building blocks that they're looking to lay moving forward.
As part of the 50th anniversary season earlier this week, the CHL announced its top 50 players of the last 50 years. And as you'd expect, the Generals and Petes both well represented on that list. 4 Petes made the cut: Larry Murphy, Steve Yzerman, Chris Pronger, and Wayne Gretzky. Yes, Wayne Gretzky did play for the Peterborough Petes. He played 3 games for them to begin his OHL career. He picked up 3 assists in those 3 games. The Generals represented by Eric Lindros and John Tavares. So my question to you two, part of this is fans are able to go on and vote for their top 10, and eventually the CHL is going to rank the top 50 players. So of the 6 players I mentioned who played for the Generals and Petes, who would you put at the top of your list?
Well, for me, and I'm probably the older one of the broadcast here, I look back to Eric Lindros, and the guy who really changed the mold of a power forward in the Ontario Hockey League and in the game. At the time, 6'4", 200 pounds in a league that was mostly dominated by people at about a 6-foot average. Now, okay, Kieran Walton is 6'6", 227. You didn't see a lot of players of that size and with that physical prowess, but also a scoring touch. 97 goals in 95 games, 216 points with the Oshawa Generals. Eric Lindros changed the mold of what a power forward now is, and really was a dominating force in that league, brought the Generals a Memorial Cup as well.
And clearly we have to take Wayne Gretzky out of the mix here. I mean, thinking of Wayne Gretzky as a Peterborough Pete is like thinking of John Tavares as a London Knight.
Right.
It doesn't fly. John Tavares is my selection here. I mean, I'll take the all-time OHL goal-scoring leader, 215 goals in his Ontario Hockey League career. Nobody has had more. Nobody has had even 200 in their Ontario Hockey League career. Came into the league as the first ever exceptional status player, 15 years old. What does he do? Puts up 45 goals. The following year, what does he do? 72 goals. The dominance at such a young age and the leadership that he was able to exhibit, you were lucky enough to call the games firsthand as well, was just something to behold, and he would be my selection off of that list.
All right, I'm going to give the Petes some love then. I got to go with Steve Yzerman. Stevie, I've just got to get the numbers right here. He played 2 seasons for the Peterborough Petes, and in those 2 seasons, he played 114 games, and he picked up 155 points. And of course, he went on to captain the Detroit Red Wings to 3 Stanley Cup championships, and now he is a Hockey Hall of Famer. So Steve Yzerman, I would put him at the top of my list, but really with those 6 players, you really cannot have a wrong answer. You can vote yourself. Go to chl.ca and follow the links there. And you can also win a prize pack that will take you to Kelowna, BC, and give you tickets to the Memorial Cup final. It is all Generals after 2 periods here tonight. They lead the Petes 6-1 here on Rogers TV.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
I did it. I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Ian Taylor, Director of Hockey Development with Ontario Minor Hockey. Today we look at the saucer pass.
The saucer pass is a great skill to be used when an obstacle, such as a stick or a player, is on the ice taking away the passing lane. Let's take a look on how to master this skill. A difficult pass to master, the saucer pass requires the puck to fly through the air and then land flat on the ice. The puck starts on the heel of the blade with the face open. The puck is then rolled along the blade, spinning the puck, so it stays flat in the air when it lands on the ice.
Check out more Chalk Talk episodes on Rogers TV and more drills and resources at omha.net.
Very good.
Welcome back to Oshawa, where the Generals have a 6-1 lead over the Peterborough Petes after 2 periods of play. And hey, I'm going to shout out for former Oshawa Mayor John Gray, who was in the building on Sunday against Sudbury, had a puck fly up, took him in the head. That jersey was all bloodied, but he found some soap in Oshawa and is back into pristine condition. And glad to see that John's back in his seat.
Yeah, it's not that cold in here. The hoodie's covering the head wound, and yeah, credit the Sudbury Wolves, the visitors bench right beside where John Gray's season tickets are, quickly helping out with towels. The players were all concerned. He's all good though. Chatted with Adam Dunphy in the following period on air with us and laughed it off, and good to see he's back in his seat here for this Friday night. I'm sure he wouldn't miss a Pete's matchup here Friday night in Oshawa.
Matthew Soto, the Peterborough Petes, will have one more game in this building. The final game of the regular season, March 22nd.
Hopefully he's cracked the 200 points for his OHL career by then. He's just 2 away from that milestone.
It's been an offensive explosion for the Generals, who've struggled to score all season long, but put up 6. Chasing Mason Johnston after 1 period. Easton Rye came in, gave up 2 in the second period. Can't really be faulted. One was a beautiful pass to Calto in a slot from behind the net, and Calto was uncovered. The second was a breakaway for Poshumus as Calto took a pretty big hit in the neutral zone from Fraser. Here's Griffin back in. Owen Griffin off the goalpost as he rings the iron. Last shot at the point to Moore. His long shot scores! Griffin hit the goalpost on the first chance, but rinse and repeat, he comes back down with a tip-in goal, his second of the game. The Generals convert the touchdown, 7-1.
Matches their season high, 7 goals in a game. In fact, it was the 3rd game of this regular season when they put up those 7 goals against the Guelph Storm, and does not take long. 25 seconds, and how about 2 opportunities? First, a goal post, easy zone entry, far too easy for the Oshawa Generals. They work it around the top. Lucas Moore with a seeing eye shot that finds the stick of Owen Griffin, and for Lucas Moore, that'll make it 4 points on the night for the Oshawa Generals defenseman. The Oshawa Generals are scoring in bunches here. 7-1 the score over the Peterborough Petes.
Petes were contemplating a challenge on the offside, the zone entry, or looking for a potential review on that, but it's something that's reviewed automatically.
Just far too lackadaisical a start to the period. I know the score is 6-1, 3rd period, back half of a back-to-back, but you can't allow a zone entry so easily, and then no net front tie-ups as well. Owen Griffin didn't have a body on him, didn't have a stick on him. After ringing one off the iron, he was able to cleanly get a deflection and get the Generals up to 7 on the game.
So the Petes, who put up 7 of their own last night against the Ottawa 67, sees the tables turn on them in this one. Face-off controlled by Oshawa. Bird Leitner, though, lost the handle. Good stick by Blasek to block that centering pass. It's out to center. Novotny takes a bunt from Blasek and gives him a pretty good slash on the back of the legs. Here's Smirnoff. Couldn't clear it. Second opportunity for Feely does. Here's Roberts cutting around the outside. Sam Roberts! And he couldn't quite make it to the net to get a clean shot away. Set in by the Petes, but it's an icing call as it was slung in from their own side of center, and so the change they wanted will be forced to come back on.
Sam Roberts put all he could into this net drive, keeps his feet moving, leans into the check, but it's just fended off at the last second. Roberts trying desperately to get across the top of that blue paint. Almost had it, just at the last second rolls away from him.
Face-offs were completely even through 2 periods of play at 28 apiece. Matthew Wang was 2 for 2. He lost that one. He's on the puck now, though. Wang will chip and chase. Here's Franson. He'll take a shot. Just rung that one wide to the far side. Murnane, watched by Lutz. Ahead for O'Donnell. One-handed into the Pete zone. Carter controls there, ahead for Hartnell. Goes rink wide, and Lutz sends it around for Kolarek. Behind the net is Hammond. Will work his way out front. Threw it through the slot. In front, a nice play, centering pass, another chance, 3rd try, they score. Pretty passing from the Petes, working it out from the corner. It was Carter to Kolarek, who not once but twice was stopped before the 3rd time deposited over Humphreys. It's 7-2.
Well, you can mark Kolarek down for 1+1 as of late, because coming into this one, a goal and an assist in each of his last 3 games. Peterborough has 2 goals tonight. Kolarek, a goal and an assist. So 4 straight games, 1+1 on the score sheet for Kolarek. 7-2 now the score. Stays with it. You said it, Mike. Multiple chance opportunities, no gens on him. Able to find the back of the net.
Referee taking a look over the Gens bench, seeing if they wanted any sort of challenge on that. Mario Pouliot gives them the signal to drop the puck. Kolarek 17th of the season. As Hilton brings it back the other way, drags and didn't quite get the fire part of it. Dribbles in on net.
Big Charlie Hilton trying to dangle his way to the slot area, just has it roll away from him. There's a look at Owen Griffin, 2 goals on this game, 1 career hat trick for Owen Griffin in the Ontario Hockey League. It came in this building against this same opponent, the Peterborough Petes, the last game of the regular season last year. Harrison Franzen, by the way, also on hat-trick watch for the Generals. No career hat-tricks in the Ontario Hockey League thus far.
Rowan Sang trying to work that puck out front. And Hilton there. Charlie Hilton now centers it. Hilton still looking for his first goal as an Oshawa General. Thought he had one a couple of weeks ago, but turns out it was tipped on the way through. Sang spun down to the Pete zone by Carter. Hartnell ahead. Send it in. Humphreys look out. To play it under pressure from Soto, and Posthumous back the other way. Stripped of the puck though at the Pete's blue line. Soto carries it himself back into his own zone. Bothered there by Griffin. It'll be tipped in by Faulkner, where Colto corrals it, sends it across the Generals' end. Right back in to come the Petes. Walton. Blocker save made from Humphreys. Posthumous tips it for Griffin. Right back the other way, lays it ahead for Colto, who jumps onto it. Colto looking short side off the side of the net. And back for it is Thatcher. Here's Walton. Lays it back, and Strohack looks ahead to center ice, where he tipped in by Parrish. And a long lead feed from Moore, hops over the stick of France, and this will be an icing call against the Generals.
Look at Carson Cameron, Bob Cajun, native and the captain of the Peterborough Petes. Mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. If you missed it, some ties with the Oshawa Generals coaching staff. Assistant coach Mike Ferrugia coached him at his U13 AAA year with the Central Ontario Wolves. So always interesting to see how these minor hockey ties come and go, and players and coaches work their way up to the Ontario Hockey League. High praise in the coaches' room from the Generals for Carson Cameron, as you might expect.
Flip down, O'Donnell's going to chase it down, but a pretty good lead for Fraser, and native of Haymarket, Virginia. He's already celebrated his 20th birthday last week. Garrett Fraser, get a look at Aidan O'Donnell.
Jen's putting up some big numbers, as you would expect in a 7-2 game. Aidan O'Donnell, a multi-point contest, has 4 multi-point games with the Oshawa Generals in about half a season since joining from the Brantford Bulldogs. Pretty impressive stuff from a team that doesn't score all that much.
It's, of course, game number 100 in O'Donnell's OHL career. As the crowd reacts to a pretty big hit. Cameron was stood up by Harrison Franzen. And now back the other way. Matthew Wang trying to chase it down. Parrish will get to it first. Cross for Fraser. We'll send it around the Oshawa zone. Vlasic stops it. Feely battles for the puck, and Vlasic will send it up the boards. Ends up back in the far corner, where Feely will get to it first, ahead for Matthew Wang. Matthew Wang after it in the corner. Bodied off the puck by Fraser. And away come the Petes. Hammond for Young. Young shot. And a glove save made. And the goaltender Humphreys. And he'll hang on to that.
Yeah, not often you look to or talk about the goaltender in a 7-2 game, but Matthew Humphreys has been solid as usual. 28 shots for the Peterborough Petes. Humphreys has stopped 26 of them. Yes, the team in front of him has put on an offensive onslaught, but that's a welcomed number for Matthew Humphreys, who many, many nights has to try to stop them all and give his team a chance.
Bird Leitner with the kick win of the draw. Legal here, not so much at the Olympics. Here's Hartnell. Back at the point, Lutz. He'll walk it in and lost the handle. Roberts trying to squeak back the other way. Caught by Lutz, though. We'll check that Hartnell. Well, the Gens will try again. Lead pass finds Smirnoff with some room. Smirnoff scores! What a shot on the short side over the glove by Vadim Smirnoff. Goals raining down for the Generals.
Who is this team? The Oshawa Generals, 8 on the board. It's a puck battle win for the Oshawa Generals, something that they've had a lot here tonight. Sam Roberts drops his shoulder, out-muscles his man, Brady Murnane, able to pick it up and hit Smirnoff in stride, and this is one Easton Rye we'll want back. He's been a fantastic goaltender all season long, beautiful save percentage numbers, but top of the circle, no deflection. Maybe that stick gave him a little pause for concern, but top of the circle from close to the wall. Rye wants that one back for sure. 8-2 the score for the Gens.
The most goals the Generals have had in a game this season. The lowest scoring team in the OHL.
Maybe not for long.
Got 8 on the board. Long shot by Stroak. That hit the bodies in front. Played ahead by Vlasic to Figliameni. Across the Petes line. Fire at will. That shot goes wide. Hilton able to keep that in. Here's Sang in the slot trying to hook that back to Figliameni. And finally the Petes will come up with it. Novotny ahead. Across the neutral zone. Moore will play it for Timmerman. Ahead off of Figliameni and into the Petes end.
Gens started today 8 behind the Brampton Steelheads for the lowest scoring team. Pardon me, 7 behind for the lowest scoring team. Gens have put up 8, Brampton's got 1, so they're tied.
They're having some progress being made in the goal scoring category for sure. It's an 8-2 lead. Vadim Smirnoff tacks on the last one. Glove side high, 8-2 Generals on Rogers TV.
This winter has pushed every Durham region home to the limit. If your furnace is struggling and you're worried it won't last until spring, pay attention to the signs. Stay warm and avoid a midwinter breakdown. TauntonTrades.ca.
Downtown Whitby is more than just a downtown. It's a vibrant blend of historic charm and modern life. With over 300 businesses and services, you'll find everything you need. Shop, dine, and discover why downtown Whitby truly has it all.
Whether you're into NLL lacrosse, OHL hockey, college or university sports, or even youth sports, we've got it covered here on the Sports Report on Rogers TV Durham.
Have a night, Lucas Moore, a career-high 4 points.
And we're talking a player with 283 career games played in the Ontario Hockey League. First career 4-point game for Lucas Moore.
There was a chance for him to hit the 300 mark on the season, but the suspension for the fight limit means he'll hit 299 if he plays all of the rest. And a little tackle in front by the goaltender Rye on Owen Griffin. Griffin was steered to the net by Strohack. They ended up in the crease. Rye ends up on top of Griffin, gives him a tap afterwards. Didn't mean to do that. It was a pretty good wrestling takedown.
Giving new meaning to the net drive. Griffin looking for the hat trick, going hard to the net, and just can't hit the brakes in time. Rye looking to break his own fall, and I think they're already having a chuckle there, it looks like. Thought for a second we might see some punches being thrown, but definitely not. Little taps on the way up, everything's all good. Hard net drive by Griffin. Just got to hit the brakes a little bit sooner.
It was Fraser, not Strohack, of course. And see, they're taking Griffin into the net.
Artem Frolov, by the way, a scratch tonight for the Oshawa Generals. That'll take away his opportunity to hit 200 games played in the OHL. Speaking of the same for Lucas Moore with the suspensions, not allowing him to get 300.
Gens in their own corner. Sean battling there, will come up with the puck. Head for Griffin, he finds Posthumous. The Gens are right back in. Posthumous slipped, gets back up. Griffin looks back to the point. Lashon, that shot hit the bodies in front. Posthumous following up, couldn't stick handle around a few, and the Petes will get a chance to clear it and do. Right back comes Matthew Wang. Wang dicing into the Peterborough zone. Picked off by Hartnell, starts back the other way. Picked off there and intercepted by O'Donnell. And he can't make it through the Petes D. Like a game of Red Rover at the blue lines right now. Puck sent in deep to the Oshawa zone. Franson will chip it out. Lang trying to chase it down. Parrish puts it back in the Oshawa end. Vlasic deal with the forecheck, but gets it out. Into the Petes end, but it's played right back out. Wang at center. He finds Franson. Harrison Franson in, trying to cut his way around Hartnell. Into the corner, he bumps, and they dig for it. And they continue the battle. Finally, Franson will dig it free. Up the boards, Feely across the blue line. Vlasic looks in front, and that one tipped on goal.
Behind the back tip, cruising through the slot. Very nice.
This Parrish really got away with one there.
He disguised it well. Might have been off camera, we should explain.
He had taken the stick out of Matthew Wang's hands, or it had fallen out of Matthew Wang's hand. Parrish kicked it up the ice a good 40 feet away from Wang. Is now pushing and shoving, and Humphreys comes up with a...
The D's in on this one, 8-2.
To Novotny. Strohak is in there, battling with Feely. Thatcher with some shots to Smirnov.
6'4" Strohak and 6'7" Feely tangled up behind the net.
Well, Thatcher continues to punch, and Smirnov says, you have a cage on. It's not quite the same. Strohak and Feely be sent to the penalty boxes, as is Parrish.
Strohak's not done, he wants more.
It was Novotny who was in the middle of this at the side of the net to start it.
I'll go back to the thing we were joking about before with the stick here, Matthew Wang. So you're not allowed to shoot a player while he does nice kick there, and I'm just going to take a few strides, and yeah, I'm going to make sure I take this. If you shoot it to the corner, you're getting a penalty. You can't remove the other player's stick from play. But you know, if I'm just skating and I happen to kick it up a few times.
Stride along the ice, that's all.
And then let's get to the main event, the dust up after the whistle.
Now what would a Jens Petes matchup be without a bit of this? So the referees sorting it all out right now. 2 Petes in the box. Bird Leitner is joining them. I wonder if this would be a penalty to Humphreys. Because
he came up hard with that blocker.
I didn't see Bird Leitner as the one. Feely was more involved. I'm not sure if he was ushered out. I see him at the end of the Gens bench right now. In the end, it looks like the Generals will have a power play after this, but now they're eating it up. So perhaps a 2-10 situation.
Faceoff comes outside, as I joked. Of course, the D was coming in on that scrum. 8-2 game there. Green light go. Faceoff outside, not entirely all that important.
Well, although the numbers in the penalty box aren't even, the ones on the ice are 4-on-4.
Wait for the announcement. Strohak and Parrish in the box for the Petes, and just Bird Leitner in the box for the Gens. Strohak, 10-minute misconduct. Parrish and Bird Leitner, the 2 minutes.
All right, it was Bird Leitner. So Strohak gets the 10.
Almost finishes his night. I think there was just around 11 minutes left on the clock when that happened.
Right. So he'll get comfortable in the penalty box. And we get a little bit of extra ice 4-on-4. Here come the Petes. Walton. It's a shot away. Humphreys fights that off. Walton right back on it. Battling against LaShawn. And the Generals will chip it out and hit the linesman, though. And now Moore onto it. Noticing that his team needs a change, he'll just back up. Here's Griffin. It's a pretty good hack for Novotny. Vlasic. Vlasic skates away from the check of Novotny. Feely Take it to the far side and send it around Peterborough zone. Griffin waits at the blue line for it. Across for Feely. Into the corner, squirts free for Griffin. Looks across the blue line for Blasek. Blasek back for Griffin. Nolan Griffin spins away from Young. Griffin back onto it. Looks in front. As Blasek went for the pass across for Posthumus. And tic-tac-toe. Cut off by the goaltender. Out of the box come Parrish and Bird Leitner, and right into the play. Here's Bird Leitner. Across the line, long shot. Rye the save, he'll hang on.
Players out of the box, back to 5-on-5 we go. A rather uneventful 4-on-4. Almost feel like it's almost clock running time for these two teams. We talked about the Peterborough Petes schedule earlier in this period. They're coming off a back-to-back here tonight, so they'll be off until Monday, but so will the Oshawa Generals. They played Wednesday in Ottawa, tonight against Peterborough, and then Family Day, 2 p.m. Monday against the Flint Firebirds, who make their one and only trip to the Tribute Community Center this year.
Be able to catch that game on FloHockey. Generals radio play-by-play, Jack Moore will have that. Family Day affair. Moore will chip it ahead. Here's Bird Leitner. Back for Moore behind his net. And he'll send it high. Off of the Jumbotron at center ice.
I was picturing them having to drop that down to center ice for a repair.
And a couple of weeks ago, with Frolov, I think in his first game as an Oshawa General, sent it off of the board and a piece of the panel came down.
It happened at the buzzer at the intermission, though, so they were able to do the repair during the intermission, which was really nice. Great job by the Tribute Community Center staff that day as well. This one, on the other hand, in an 8-2 game would have been a 10-minute delay. Luckily, no panels fall out. Although I suppose they could just take it to the, they would probably just take it to the bench. Go a panel short for the balance of the 8 minutes.
Think so. It's set in. Here's Kolarek. Into the Oshawa zone. Right, the drag and delay. That one was blocked. Soto quickly onto it off the bench. At the point, Carter, that one went off a couple of legs and just spun wide. Soto onto it. Wins a battle behind the net, then pinched off the puck by Blasek. Smirnov can't get it out. Carter trying to kick it in deeper, and now Franson controls. Harrison Franson send it off the glass into the Pete's end zone and forced back out. Hilton across his own blue line. Timmerman. Rye will stop it behind his net. One hands it for Carter, got by him. Look out. Almost a steal in front for Figliameni. The Petes come away with it. Soto, pass for Fraser, gets it across, and a long shot from Deacon Solo. There's had limited shifts in this game. The Petes going 11-7 in the lineup. Haven't seen as much Jerry Deacon Solo.
Look at Kieran Walton. The Gens have done a great job with him tonight. He's been relatively quiet. Does have 3 shots on goal, but for the 34 goal scorer, tied for second in the Ontario Hockey League, his grade A opportunities have been held pretty much in check. Also, a game low, -5 tonight for Kieran Walton. Not sure how often you can say that when he's on the ice for so many goals for the teams he played for, Sudbury and Peterborough.
Gens dig the puck free behind their net. Moore will start away with it. Here's Figliamani to center. Chips it in. Thatcher first on the corner. Head for DiConzolo. Chase after Timmerman. Give him a pretty good bump into the end boards. But Oshawa skates away with it. Off of Faulkner to center. Hartnell across his blue line. Perreault ahead off of DiConzolo, and now Faulkner will glove it down, put it behind the Oshawa net, where Humphreys will play it around the boards himself. Kept it at the far side only momentarily, and now a steal for Griffin. He's got Posthumus with him. Griffin for Culto. Griffin the rebound, and it just hopped over his stick. Griffin had a chance to shoot first, looking for the hat trick. decided on the pass, almost got the rebound. Now Vlasic back.
Unselfish play and almost got rewarded for it.
Here's Posthumous. Looks across for Feely. Feely, that one went off a leg in front, almost ended up behind the goaltender Rye. And the Petes will dump it high and down the ice. Colin Feely still in search of his first OHL goal. Almost got one in a pinball fashion. Vlasic, look out, fanned on it, and they score. It's Garrett Fraser who gets a gift in front of the Oshawa net. His first as a Pete for Garrett Fraser. Makes it 8-3.
Bad luck here for Brady Vlasic. Just trying to make a play. Fans on the puck, and thank you very much, say the Peterborough Petes. So obviously very moot on the celebration. Here we see a bouncing puck, and never does get settled. That's the problem right there. As the bouncing puck comes back to Vlasic, it's still rolling a bit. Tries to play to his D partner, and Colin Feely fans on it. Lands on the stick of Garrett Fraser, who puts it back to the back of the net for his first as a Peterborough Pete.
And the Petes on it looking for more. The Gents come away with it. Matthew Wang will skate to center. Send it in. And back the other way come Peterborough. Here's Eden Young. His shot blocked. Rebound came out. They score. Back to back quick. It's Brett Hammond now. His first as a Pete. There's both the former Erie Otters on the board. And they cut the lead in half to 8-4 with 4:39 to go.
What are the odds of that in such quick successions for the former Otters to strike for their first with the Peterborough Petes? And nifty little play through the neutral zone, hard low pass off the pad. Have to think that's what Aiden Young was thinking, or at least looking for a deflection in front. But the rebound comes right into the wheelhouse for Hammond, a quick release. I'm not necessarily saying cue the comeback, but 8-4 certainly is a lot better than 8-2. Timeout, Oshawa Generals.
Oh yeah, Mario Pouliot will take his timeout and just say, hang on a second, guys. It's not quite over yet. Feeling very good about themselves, but don't lose that feeling.
Peterborough Petes can score in bunches. Long way to go, of course, but hey, 2 quick goals here. He's given the Generals some pause and literally had to pause this game with their timeout to hit the reset button.
Who would have thunk that a couple of minutes ago?
4:39 clock, of course, the enemy, but a little something for Peterborough to start building on.
Rob Wilson, Peterborough Petes, making a game of it. Will not go quietly into the dark. The Petes chasing it down in the offensive zone again. Here's Lutz. Got away from him. Murnane will send it around the boards. Roberts slashes at it. Hammond takes a bump from Bird Leitner. The Generals get the puck out to center. Smirnoff going to carry that in. He wants to fight his way into the corner against Thatcher. And the Petes come up with the puck. Long rink-wide pass, broken up. Roberts back the other way. Here's Kolarek. Drops it back. Lutz with a spinning move. Backhand into the slot. It's picked up by Lachon, and he'll back off with it. Up ahead, Rowan Sang. Can get the puck in deep, however. Cameron back the other way. Here's Moore. Here's Sang with a steal. Rowan Sang to the net. Couldn't beat Rye. Centered it back out front. Comes to the point to Moore. Spins and fires, and that one a weak shot. Broke the stick of Novotny with the Petes control. Vlasic gets it back from Moore. Looks ahead off of Sang. Tip it into the Petes zone. Cameron back. Around the boards for Hartnell. Rink wide he goes for Walton. And Walton rink wide back for Faulkner. Drops it off. Novotny had it poked off his stick. Posthumus sends it down the other way. Foot race for it. Ryan will come out. He clears that out to center.
Top 6 inches of the glass, right where it started to curve, or right before where it starts to curve.
Almost played that straight out. Griffin trying to carry that back in. That's broken up. Back inside the Oshawa line now is Vlasic. Rye tees it behind his net. Here's Soto. Here's the calls coming from Carter as he jumps into the zone. Carter for Walton. Brings off the pads of Humphreys. Far side, Calto in a race for it. Kept in by the Petes momentarily. Now
Hat-trick
a chance. Breakaway chance for the hat trick for Griffin. Stopped by Easton Rye. And Rye looking for a place to play it. Can't find it. 2:01 left to go. The Petes trying to make a game of it. Back-to-back goals with 33 seconds between them. First for Fraser. And then for Hammond, the former Otters on the board. It's 8-4 Oshawa on Rogers TV.
Groundhog forecasts are never certain, but one thing isn't over. If your furnace is barely hanging on, a replacement could help you avoid waking up to a cold, heatless home. TauntonTrades.ca.
A chance for Owen Griffin. A breakaway and a chance at the hat trick denied by Easton Rye. There's one other hat trick for Owen Griffin. It came against these Peterborough Petes last season.
Yeah, last game of the regular season for the Gens.
These two teams will meet in the last game of the regular season again. Here's Kolarek sweeping towards the net and shooting through the crowd. It went off of a leg. Wang the other way. Bodied heavily into the boards. Wang heads off immediately after that. Soto back the other way. A chance, a spinning shot, and Humphreys made the save and then poked the rebound away from the stick of Soto right before he could deposit that.
And he very well may have. Rebound chance, plenty of net for him to shoot at, but a nifty little chip by Humphreys over his stick on the rebound.
Tipped in by O'Donnell. Rye will have to play it and does. Burrow's got to go back for it. Hilton watching him. Once we'll send it ahead. Humphreys clears it himself. Generals and their fans all happy to hear last minute of play announced by Terry Johnston.
Yeah, Humphreys declined that icing call. Came out and paddled it.
Smirnoff deep into the corner. Back to the point to Moore. Hilton on the far side. Couldn't get to it first. Bird Leitner trying to keep it in. Couple of whacks at it does. And Hartnell forced back. Bird Leitner keeps it in again. Border Bird Leitner. Here's Moore. Shot goes wide. Hilton. A late chance perhaps. Final 10 seconds. We'll take a shot. That one stopped. Hilton again. Another shot. Stop. Rebound in front. Bird Leitner with a backhand and a final save for Easton Rye. He gets the Generals over the 40 shot total. Matthew Humphreys, first win in his new Generals gear. And he and the Gens celebrate an 8-4 victory and an offensive explosion over the Peterborough Petes.
Most goals for the Oshawa Generals in a game this season. You're right, Mike. Offensive explosion is a great way to put it. And on rivalry night against their most heated rival as well. Gens win 8-4.
We want to talk to parents about online safety and a concerning new threat identified by investigators, often referred to as the community or the COM, who are manipulating children online and coercing them into criminal acts, including hoaxing, coordinated online attacks, and swatting incidents.
They use grooming, manipulation, secrecy, intimidation, and emotional pressure to gain trust and exploit young people. These offenders operate across gaming platforms, social media, and messaging apps.
You know your child